What it do, what it do. Welcome to Put the Kids to Bed and Let's Talk Podcast, the greatest podcast on Facebook. And tonight, we breaking down the movie Straw. I have some special guests with me to talk about the subject and break it down, do a real good, deep dive on what what this movie represented or what it said to you. What did it give to you? Did it give you something? Did it make you mad? Did it make you sad? We're gonna talk about all that. We look, I can't wait to get into it. So I'm gonna start off by letting the guests introduce themselves. Well, let me see if they ready. Y'all good? Y'all ready? Everybody
Yeah.
up? Everybody aware? Okay,
Yes.
okay. Um, l- ladies first. Whoever wanna take it over, ladies first. But just tell them uh, your name, and just what we need to know. This is a black woman's lie right now. What we need to know. Let us know if you got kids, if you don't got kids, married in a relationship, all that good stuff.
Okay, I'll go first. Hey y'all, it's Mary B. Single parent, divorced, 31, two kids.
Two kids. Let's clap it up for the two kids. Let's go. Father's Day tomorrow. Father's Day tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm a single mom. I have one little
I'll
girl.
I'll go next.
Okay, Jasmine, say it again. Introduce yourself again.
I'm Jasmine. I'm a single mom. I got one little girl.
One little girl. Let's clap it up for the beautiful young black girl. Yes, sir. Who we got next?
All right, I'll go next. My name is Callie. I'm 30 years old and I've not given birth, but I have raised my brother since he was 7 years old.
You have raised your brother since he was 7 years old. Let's clap it up for that. That's that's not no little deed. That's a big thing. It's a big thing. And last but not least, man, tell them who you are.
It's on me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Smith. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for the conversation. I'm 26, no marriage, no kids, single man, but a lot of dreams and also a lot of opinions and a lot of support to the black community and a lot of support to black women. So I'm interested for the conversation.
Let's go, man. So look, we ain't gotta go on no certain order. Just get in where you fit in. I want to start off by just getting y'all to rate the movie on a scale 1 to 5. 5 meaning the best, one of the best. One being whatever. Let's start with you. Whoever want to start it off. Whoever want to start it off.
Who
Okay,
did
I'm
you
gonna
say?
give the movie a two.
A two,
A two.
not a
I'll give it a
2.5, but a two.
okay.
No,
I was
it's
gonna give
two.
it a
It's a
two.
two. Flat
Okay.
two.
What you say, Kelly?
Yeah, I'll rate it
You rated a what? You said a
a
two.
two.
A 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What about you, Jasmine? What you
I
rating?
say about I'm gonna be nice. 2.5, 2.6. Let's get it.
Dang.
2.6.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Let's come on
Shout out
now.
to the black women not even giving it a 3. It's wow. Okay.
Wow. Is she
Wow.
watching?
That's deep. Yeah, I watched it. I watched it. Smith, what you got? What you got on it? 1 to 5.
I'm gonna actually give it a solid 4. I wanted to
Mm.
say uh, for what Tyler Perry usually presents, I want to give him an extra point 5, just because I feel like he really hit the mark this time and went an extra mile for me. But I'm gonna give him a solid 4, 4 out of 5.
Okay, and we got some fives in the chat. Well, we got a 5 in the chat.
What?
Yeah,
Drop
yeah. And
y'all,
I
drop y'all
really
rates
want,
in the
I really
5.
want to give it a 5. I really want to give it a 5. But I'm gonna stay at a 4. And by
Okay,
the end of this conversation, it may go up to 4.5. But yeah.
let's go. Drop what y'all got in the chat, man. 1 out of 5. What y'all giving? I see a 5. I see a 5. Um, damn, twos. We ain't even make it a 3. Dang. Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, we got a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it seems like I'm the odd man out, but it's cool.
Oh, I gotta rate it. I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
What? Where you get that from?
The 3.75.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. Okay, we got a lot to talk about then. We got a lot to talk about. Okay, we got a 4 in the chat, and we got a 5. So okay, so it sounds like what's crazy. I ain't talked to y'all about how y'all felt about the movie beforehand, except for Smith. But damn, a 2. A 2 is crazy. A 2 is crazy. So this not y'all don't feel like this is depicting the black woman's struggle. That's not what's going on in this movie. Like what makes it a 2? Whoever want to
It
start.
went overboard. The drama was a little bit too much. Like it was given too much.
It was given too much. So it was the over the top
So
drama for you.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Callie? Did she hear me? Callie? Or maybe she had to drop the phone. I don't know. Jasmine, what about you? Why did you give it a 2?
Well, I gave it a 2.6. Let's come
Oh,
on.
you said 6? I ain't even
Two
hit a
point
point
six.
6.
Two point
Okay.
six. Yeah.
What?
Um,
Yeah, wait.
from a editorial standpoint, some of the edits in it, like from just like not even from the substance of the movie, just from like editing standpoint, it was a little lag and like
Did you feel like it was a Tubi movie?
no, not the two. I think it was better than Fall from Grace, where the editing was pretty awful in that one. But you did see like gaps in editing, like one scene where they were in a bank and the backpack was on the table, and then you go to another scene and then she has the backpack on. Like I'm not even saying the two from like a substance
I'll say it was a
point. I'm
good
saying from
movie.
an
Can you
overall
hear me?
like how the movie was executed, like
Can you hear me?
editing,
Can hear you now.
all
Hold
the
on. We got
scenes.
Jasmine talking though. My bad. What you were saying, Jasmine? You said what? You said the backpack was off and on. It appeared on the back out of nowhere. Jasmine.
I don't
Oh,
know if she can hear you, but that was her point.
okay, okay. I'm confused, man. Okay, and we got a joiner. Or maybe her thing messing up. I don't know. Okay, we
Can you
gonna.
hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now, Jasmine.
Yeah, it was just from a not even from a substance video. Like I like watched it overall today because the first time I watched it, I was getting my hair done, so it was in and out. But like, yeah, from an editing standpoint, like they just didn't do a good job at like flowing through the scene seamlessly.
Dang, so you were watching that hard, like that, like
No,
just
in
it just
general,
turned you off, like man.
no, like so if we're gonna present to the world black excellence, we need to just execute it well.
Mm, okay.
So not just the plot of the movie, not just the acting, but like how it's executed too. It needs to come off well, and I think he's falling off with that. Like Fall from
Mm.
Grace, this one, like what's going on with? Is the budget not there for a good editor for people to spot some of this stuff they got like holes wise? Like the story can be good, but you're not executing it well.
Dang. Okay. Okay. Callie, did you make it back? Is that Callie?
Yeah, I made it back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What made you give it a two, Callie?
No, I think the acting was pretty good. The only reason why I gave it a 2 out of 5, like the acting, everybody did a good job. I mean, the budget thing. I mean, I feel like with Tyler Perry, like I love his movies, but I feel like we know kind of like what to expect a little bit from him
Mm.
when it comes to those movies. But when you said that, I feel like it was relatable. Certain things, yes. But certain things, yes, but for the most part, no. Um, but it was overall just I had a lot of answers. Like when the movie was over, I was just confused about some things, and I'm like, I'm a little bit more confused by the ending. I kind of
Mm.
don't like. I felt like it could have addressed a lot. Like, did she have like something with her mental health going on? Like that never got answered, so we don't know.
Mm.
Um, I
Mm.
don't know. Just a lot of questions.
Dang. Dang. I feel like you weren't paying attention then if you still got a lot of questions. But
What?
I'm a holler
No.
at
So wait. So wait, James, you answer that question. So what so at the very end, when we found out her daughter passed away and her
Yes.
mom was yelling at her on the phone to tell her that while the FBI was at her house. You got that? Like you understood why her mom was yelling at her?
That part made no sense.
Not. So wait, so cuz you said I wasn't paying attention. You tell me, what did we know about her mental health?
I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay.
I want Smith to say why it's a five. Cause I mean a four. Cause dang.
I I really want to answer her
You can
question,
answer it
but
too. You can answer it too. And I echo it.
so first, let me preface this statement with obviously I'm not a black woman, so your opinions that these women have, they come from a vantage point of more relatability. But I am a black man in the same community, so I do think my opinions do matter. Just as much. So I'm gonna give them. As far as the mental health aspect, I thought it was clear, in my opinion, that she had a mental breakdown throughout the entire film. Um, when that scene came on and the mom said, "Oh, the daughter died." At first, I thought they were saying she died in CPS custody,
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
but then once we started seeing the flashbacks where she's thinks she's walking her daughter, but there's no one there. Especially the scene with the principal of the school,
Yeah.
and you see the principal looking at her crazy, like, "Girl, what you doing up here? Like, who you dropping off?"
Yeah.
And you then see that there was no one there, and so throughout the entire film, you see this woman is in a mental state of anguish. She's in a manic state where she no longer is in reality.
Yeah.
And that part solidified the movie for me because it then showed we've been watching something that we didn't even know we were watching. And I
Yeah.
did understand it. I thought he encapsulated it perfectly in the way that he showed that she was having a mental episode. And then it clarified why she was doing things that she was doing. Even if you listen to her coworker, the coworker kept saying, "This isn't like her. She doesn't do stuff like that," because that wasn't her anymore. She was no longer the Janaya that she was because of the loss of her daughter. And then as far as why I rated the movie the way I
No,
rated it,
I get
can you hear me?
it.
Yeah, we hear you.
And the reason I rated it the way I rated it was because, again, like
Oh
y'all
no.
are saying, we know what Tyler Perry gives sometimes, and so I'm already kind of like critical of his movies sometimes, but I didn't get that from this movie. I really feel like this may be the best non-Medea film that he has put out. And throughout the conversation, I'll bring up supporting facts of why I believe that. But I'm
Mm.
really impressed by Tyler Perry. Shout
Oh,
out
I
to
agree. Yeah,
Raji,
this is one of the best
and it
ones he's
was
done. Yeah.
yeah, it was definitely one of the best, and I'm proud of the movie, and I'm proud to say that it's been the number one movie on Netflix globally for the last week or so, and I believe they're gonna take it to week two.
Mm. Mm. Okay. And just to come right behind that, Callie, uh yeah, I feel like it made I felt like I thought that the robbery was the last straw. But at the end of the movie it shows that her daughter dying the night before was the last straw for her that broke her.
Yeah, she even says it in the scene. She was like at the hospital, something to me broke. Like
Yeah,
yeah,
she says
even
that.
in that last scene, in that last scene,
Yes,
look,
but
yeah.
I guess what I'm but
So it was a good. plea for temporary insanity during the time of the crime that she wanted
Definitely
to get off.
Yes,
temporary
but
So
I just
insanity. Keep going. My bad, Kelly. You got it.
yeah, but I guess what I'm saying is, oh,
Do you got the
am I going in and out?
Nah, do you got the
Hey,
live playing in the
What'd you
background?
say?
Do you got the live playing in the background?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, turn it down cuz it's going to come
Hold on
through.
one
Okay.
no. Okay. Okay, I think I did. Okay, I think I did. Is this better?
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I don't know.
You can't hear us?
Okay. Well, no, I was saying like I understood that, but I didn't know if it was grief or if she had other like another like a mental illness maybe in the past, or maybe she was diagnosed with something early on. And I just
Oh,
felt
okay.
like it just wasn't. I'm like her daughter passing away the night before. I don't know. I just felt like it could have just been more, just a little clearer. Like, not saying I didn't understand. Like, okay, her daughter passed away. So I'm like, all of this is because of her grief of her daughter passing away, or something else going on.
Mm. Mm.
I don't
We
know.
thought we
it could be a
thought
combination of things. Yeah.
I
yeah.
thought it was a combination of things.
Yeah, I thought it was just life in general was already hard, and then when the daughter died, that was the last straw.
Hence the name of the movie.
Yeah, but stand firm in your purpose. I mean, in your statement. I don't think it's a bad statement. I think it's just the way you saw it. You feel like you needed more of a case for it. Like you feel like grief is not enough for that, for all of that, to imagine things and see things and all of that. Is that what you're saying, Callie?
No, I'm not saying grief isn't enough. I guess it was just one of those things of like, I don't know. I just feel like there was just a real opportunity there to really just either dive into that grief,
Oh, okay.
which I understand. Like she had all those incidents that happened that day, and then come to find out her daughter's dead. I don't know. I just felt like I don't know. Just felt like we could have did more with like maybe kind of diving into that, like a build up, if that makes sense. Like just
Yeah.
all of that happening in one day.
Okay, we got some comments too in the chat. Miss Fairley said she said something about her baby. She said something about her baby being premature. I thought there was a connection there. Not sure though. I don't even remember that part.
She
Yeah,
said she was
almost.
a preemie.
Yeah, she said.
Yeah, it was almost like watching. It was almost like thinking that the child was never there at all. The way it made it seem, because
Oh, like
in
the
one of the,
child never existed. Like the child wasn't even that old.
yeah, like she never even made it that old, because like the way they depicted
Nah,
it, like her
now
coming
I
out the
feel like
hospital
now I
holding
feel
the
like you
blanket.
weren't watching it, Mary B. Now I
I
feel
was
like you
watching.
weren't watching it.
I was watching.
So you saying the daughter in the tub wasn't that old? You saying she died as a baby?
That's what it made it seem when
Damn.
she was walking out the hospital with the blanket and she was like patting the blanket. I'm like, well, did the child ever grow up to the age that they're saying or she's making it
Oh,
out to be?
I think the reason why
Plot
they
twist.
put in there that she was a preemie to kind of give like preference
More
to like
background
why
to
the kid
health.
had so many like medications.
Correct. Yeah.
And it
That
still
shit.
didn't answer like what were all the problems. Like you could see like there was a prescription for amoxicillin, but like that's an antibiotic. So like
It
what
was
is
other.
the
It was
issue?
like a
Like
whole
what
bunch.
was the
I
real
didn't read
issue here?
the medicine bottles, but there was like several different ones. Some of them said she has like she's just sickly. So they just kind of mostly said she's real ill. Her baby is always doesn't make it to the hospital in time, so that's why she needed her car. Like I think them saying that she was a preemie was just to like tie in why the kid was so sickly. I think.
I'm talking about Mary B and Callie. They gave it a two. Mary B talking about the child never got made it past
But I'm
That's
saying it doesn't to
y'all
me. That's why I
wildin', bro.
still have
Y'all wildin' out
unanswered
right
questions.
now. Y'all
I
is
have so
wildin'
many
out.
unanswered questions.
Oh, I think that the child, it was confirmed that the child had asthma, but also probably just like some immune deficiencies along the guideline of what the child had.
Yeah, I thought
I
they
didn't even,
named it. I thought they named what it was. I
yeah,
forgot.
I know for a fact they said asthma and maybe something else, but I mean, the overall
They
point
said
was,
seizures. I know
Yeah,
they said
seizures.
seizures.
She
Yeah,
said she had
yeah,
seizures. Yeah.
yeah. So, no, they didn't say exactly what it was, but they gave us examples of what she was going through.
Okay, so I got the chat going in on y'all. Hold on. So let's holler at the chat real quick. Okay. Um. Well, this one for you, Jasmine. The concerned citizen said because Janaya had a backpack on in multiple scenes, it's a two. Yeah, they tripping. Black excellence need to be shown on every front. It's crazy. Editing was done on purpose. It was supposed to be like that. Okay.
It was supposed to be like
what?
no, like okay, in the bank when she was like, let's turn off all the controls. So she walks in the back with the manager with the backpack on, right?
Yeah.
And then you flip the next scene, it's the two clerks sitting in the lobby, and the backpack is sitting on the counter. And then it flips back to her being in the control room.
So they had a Tubi movie incident. They had a
And
little
I'm like,
Tubi
wait a minute. I
Tubi
don't
going
think
on.
that was intentional. I think they just forgot to edit it out in the scene where the two clerks were sitting in the lobby area of the bank.
And you
So
was
like
just like,
stuff like
damn.
that. It that part was not
That
intentional.
let you down. That let you down though. You was like, damn, where the backpack come from?
Yeah, like
So
okay, she in the back
if
with the
I
backpack, but the backpack sitting right here, baby. Me and that backpack would be at the bank if I was to them two tellers. Come on, y'all, let's get out of here. The bum gone.
I gotta go
So,
back and watch it though.
in that part of the movie, honestly, I did feel like it was sporadic, and that part specifically may be an editing issue. But when she was going back and forth and like looking and the scene of cut and come back right to, I think that was to make her look as insane as she actually was, and it was like a sporadic situation in editing. Somewhat I thought was purposely.
Yeah,
Now,
some
and
of it, yeah, some of it I can like get it, but
now,
then I was like,
to your point, Tyler Perry is a man about that money. So if he can save, he will save. So the film was filmed in 4 days. So I'm not gonna
oh
say that the editing will be perfect, but what I will say is it happens.
yeah,
I've seen big budget $1 million films have editing issues. Like that is a common thing. And so I don't know if I'm willing to completely devalue the body of work that I saw because of an editing issue. Because I watch movies all the time, especially horror films, and that shit happens. Like it's not uncommon for you to see
see, and
something
I'm not
like
a big movie person, so that's helpful to know.
when it really does happen, and it may not be as obvious as you may think the Tyler Perry, but I see that stuff all the time.
Okay,
Okay, we got another comment. Miss Kalia says, Mary, you're breaking my heart.
I'm
She
sorry.
she disappointed. The concerned citizen is just like the concerned citizen just like what the fuck? Like what are you talking about? The baby not being born, the baby not being grown. I need to rewatch it because woo, somebody said that Miss Fairley. Yeah, it was a seizure. They said the Game of Thrones had a Starbucks cup in one of the episodes, so things happen.
Yeah, they did. I saw that season.
They say things happen.
see, and I'm not a big movie watcher. I genuinely watched the movie because I was getting my hair done, and I was like, okay, it's on. Let me watch it.
Oh,
And then
okay.
so I'm not a real big on movies, so I was like, this seemed a little off. Like
So you
something,
didn't even watch it by choice. It just kind of got played in front
yeah.
of you.
The first time,
Oh, the first time.
and then when I knew I was gonna be on here, I said, let me watch this movie for real. Like,
Mm.
let me watch it again.
So Mary, why is it a two to you?
Because it was given like a mix between John Q and Set It Off, but I'm still left with a bunch of questions.
Mm.
Can we
I
get
got
one of
more
those
of
questions?
One of them.
Yeah, just one of them.
So one of my questions were, if the child was picked up by CPS, at what? Because when you think about CPS, and it's probably too literal, but like usually after that they do a home visit before they even take the kid away from you. Um, why didn't she get to know where the child was Why didn't we get the chance to figure out like the home visit piece?
That was a
Um,
hallucination.
because it never happened. That was the ending. Again, that's what solidified the movie for me, was the fact that grief had taken this woman so far that she created and hallucinated this entire event just to escape the fact that her child is now dead.
so then, if
That
you're saying her child is dead, at what period did the child really die?
the child died the night
The night
before.
before.
Damn,
The night before
With who? That's the
I'm
thing. Like with
you
who?
you giving
at the
me you
hospital.
giving me spokesman vibes right now, Mary B. I ain't gonna lie, you giving me spokesman
I
And
center
agree
who
with
does that
Mary,
supposed to mean?
center
but I
movie
agree with
review.
Mary. But no, I agree with Mary B because I feel like, with grief, a lot of things can happen. But I feel like to have like that big of a delusion, and then
Yeah.
it's like also when she's in the bank, it's also like to some degree, like she just couldn't like, one minute she can comprehend fully what's going on around her, but then the next minute she'll be caught up in her thoughts in her head from the robbery,
Yeah,
um from the being at the bank. So I just felt like, if you're gonna say she had a meltdown, we
yeah.
didn't know how she was before. So like, I guess for
Oh,
everybody to be
Right.
like,
you
oh,
didn't
it's so
have nothing to
obvious.
compare it to. That's what you're
Yeah,
Yeah,
saying.
I'm
she
like,
was
it's so
lucid
obvious.
throughout the
How did we
whole
know she wasn't
thing.
like this?
Okay. Well, hold on. Let me boo Mary real quick. Hold on. Okay. So, okay, but I'm booing Mary for saying that the hallucination part when you were saying they took the baby and they didn't. But Mary, that pissed me off too. That pissed me off too. That was my pet peeve of the movie. I hate that he did that, but when I saw that it wasn't real, I let it go. But then I still got a little because that's not how it really go. Like I hope people don't think that that's how it really go, even though it was a hallucination. You get what I'm
And then
saying?
on Yeah, and then on top of that, okay, if we're looking at her walking outside to the car talking to herself, there's nobody with her. So you telling me that Sinbad saw her talking to herself and didn't say nothing and then didn't get on the TV and say anything? You telling me the landlord saw her talking to herself and then answering her about when she was going to pay the rent and nobody got on the news live and said, hey, yeah, we saw her talking to herself and we didn't know what was going on. Like that part just didn't really make sense to me. All these people witnessed her to either talking to herself or making this up, but didn't nobody say, she just lost her kid yesterday, or yeah, we saw her walk into the car and didn't understand why she was acting like she was tugging somebody.
I think that would have taken the blow out of the ending if they basically gave it away during the movie. Because if they get on the news or prior to the ending scene and tell us that, oh, there was nobody with her earlier, then we're already going to know that either A, the daughter doesn't exist, or two, the daughter is now deceased already. So I think that was the purpose of them not telling us or not alluding to it, is so the ending would have the power that it did. And you even hear Sherry towards the end of the movie where she's like, "Oh, my baby died," and Sherry's like, "I know. They told me earlier." We never saw that scene, but Sherry then confirmed that everybody already knew. They had already been discussing it, but they just didn't say it to her.
Most movies will put a good hint in there to explain, like even though things aren't
Can y'all
being
hear me?
said. A lot of movies do
Yeah, we
that.
hear you. I think they just
Okay.
saying. I think they just went. I don't think they felt what you was saying. I think
No,
they.
not at all. But I'm just saying, like some movies typically they do that. They give you little hints and things like that,
I'm
Mm,
I'm not
and
sure who
then
was
they come with
speaking,
the big
but go
conclusion. And
ahead.
I just feel like with this one, it wasn't any hints. It was just a bam. This is what it is.
Can y'all hear me?
yeah, we hear you. We hear you.
I thought somebody else was speaking. I was
Yeah, Kelly was talking. Callie was talking. She was just saying that the movie didn't give no hints. Like they didn't do a good job at giving hints, like most movies do.
shock me. I don't want to hear shock me.
I just needed to make sense because it just
It made sense to me, and I respect you guys' opinions, and I'm listening to y'all. But it really did make sense. I did not leave that movie confused. I did not leave it like, dang, I don't know what happened. I don't know what's going on. Like I left feeling. I did feel sad. I did leave with some emotions, but confusion
Yeah,
was not one of them.
yeah. I wanted to call my sister and a couple more black women that was single
So
parents. I
I mean,
wanted to reach
listen.
out.
So the film is dramatic for sure, right? But that's because the reality that it's pulling from is dramatic. Just because we don't always see it on screen doesn't mean it's not real. And I really appreciated that the film was willing to go there. And you all, as black women, I don't know you guys' life. I don't know what you guys have gone through, but we've all been through hard times. We've all been through something. And I really like the fact that the film addressed it in a somewhat tasteful way. Like they humanized black women in that movie for me. They made them feel real. They made them feel like this is something that happens. And yes, the beginning was dramatized, but it's a movie. I don't expect any less.
I I agree with that sentiment that it did humanize her. I think we should like that helped other people. I feel like it'll help other people humanize us, like to see the day to day and see that it's not just one thing and I snapped. It's like it was a mountain of
A
things, and
mountain of things.
I'm trying to navigate through life, and things keep happening. So I do appreciate the narrative to like humanize us, because a lot of times we don't get that. We just get angry. That's all they get is that the end part, like the
Not the beginning, not the
not the
middle,
beginning,
not what led up to it.
not us trying to resolve it. She's like trying the whole movie. She's not stealing. She's not. And then it climaxes, which was nice.
So to what you're saying about how others may view us, if you ever have time, I want you to go on TikTok and I want you to look at like the reaction or reviews. You're gonna see white people, you're gonna see black people, Asians, Hispanic. You're gonna see all people of walks of life crying throughout that movie. And what I love about that is that not only does it humanize us, our black women specifically, it shows the reality for some of us. Again, we may not go through all of that in one day, but we all been through something similar. We all have.
Mm. Good point, Smith. Good point. Good point. Since since
Can y'all hear
since
me pretty good? I'm sorry, all my phone's messing up. I think.
yeah, we can hear
Can
you
y'all hear
real
me pretty
good.
good?
Yeah, you clear.
I
You
can hear you.
crystal clear. You crystal clear.
Okay.
So due to the
Okay.
oval, can you hear me? Can you hear
So
me?
I'm not saying that
Can you hear me?
there's certain parts of that movie I did not
Can
relate
you hear
to
me, Callie?
at all. At
Callie,
all. There are some parts I just didn't. But there's certain parts that I did.
I had to mute her. I wonder can she? It might be her signal though. Maybe we
I
not
don't think
coming
she
through.
can hear. I don't think she can hear us.
I can't hear y'all. No. If y'all are saying
Oh,
anything to me, I can hear it when y'all are commenting, but I can't hear if you're saying something to me.
I wonder why it's like that. I was finna say though,
I don't know why it's doing that.
due to the overwhelming tools in this panel, I had to add a black woman that did feel the movie. I had to tag in a black woman that
All right.
did
Can
feel
y'all
the.
hear me now?
Yeah, we never couldn't hear you. I think you just couldn't hear us.
Yeah, we could hear you the whole time.
You can hear us.
Sorry. Um, so and what I'm saying is like I related to that part with like the with the boss, where
Hmm.
sometimes like when you're like a single parent trying to make a way for your family and things of that nature, where sometimes you have to put up with disrespect that you typically wouldn't and shouldn't have to. So I related to some things, but it's just like the ending, I was just like, I don't know. I was just trying to like I like the little surprise at the end to some degree, but I just didn't fully relate to that full movie. But I do understand other people maybe watching that because it does tell someone else's story. But to some degree, I just didn't feel like it told, I guess, my own personal story. Like I didn't relate in that way.
So so I'm trying to get another black woman in here that didn't give it a two, that felt like it was a five.
I
Um,
keep telling you, I gave it a 2.6 now.
that's blasphemy. Um,
Oh wow,
that's ridiculous.
it's more than half. It's more than half.
Like point one more than half is crazy. Ashley, can you hear me? Ashley, can you hear me, Ashley?
Man, I'm good, man.
Okay, maybe she can't. We'll let her get right. So look, all right, damn.
Can can I speak on something?
Yeah, say something. Say something.
So there are a few different themes of the movie. Some that I feel like were more boastful than others, but there were a lot of things, and I actually did draft some down just for examples. I thought one was desperation. I thought another was systematic neglect, mental health, grief,
Mm.
resilience among single mothers and marginalized communities. So when you look at this woman, obviously by the end we know that she's dealing with grief, and the grief is was her last straw, and she's now essentially mentally insane, or temporarily mentally insane. But I thought a good part of it was the systematic neglect was another part that I actually really enjoyed. The system has denied Janaya. The system has worked against Janaya. The system has made it harder on Janaya. Janaya can't afford a rent. She's working multiple jobs. Janaya can't afford her daughter medicine. Healthcare is not great in this country. Janaya can't effectively pay for her daughter's lunch. Childcare is not effective in this country. There was a child tax credit done in 2020 that has not been renewed that aided many children and families in this country. This country does not make it easy on us. It does not make it easy on black women. It actually makes it hard. Systematically, this system was built in a way to make it harder on us. And black women, being a double minority, will receive the most backlash of the system that we're currently in. And because of that system, Janaya lost employment. She was fired for being late or leaving. She was evicted with no safety net, no assistance. The bank essentially working against Janaya. They talked about how Sherry worked at the white branch and everybody was getting a loan. Everybody was getting money. Everybody was getting a credit card. But she came to the black bank and she realized how many safeguards and how many systems were against her in helping these black people. We
Mm.
talked about healthcare. Janaya was not able to afford her daughter's medication. As we already know, these institutions make it so hard to afford life saving medication. And so, when it comes to the themes of the movie, I think that's a systematic situation, is something that was highlighted subliminally but clearly to where this system is not our friend. And we see what the system did to Janaya.
Man, I when you right, Chris, you right. I mean, Smith,
You
when
right.
you right, Smith, you right. Like usually I be like playing the fence with you, but tonight you on it. So y'all didn't get that. Y'all don't. Do y'all feel like do y'all so Mary, we on you right now. So Mary, you don't feel like those struggles were like in part or like what you didn't see though that type of messaging in this movie, or you feel like it was just like blah, like what?
I'm not gonna discredit Jania's struggles because I do understand, and not even from being a single mother, but I've seen other single parents with lack of education, lack of resources, struggle in
Mm,
somewhat of the same way. However, and the way that the movie depicted Janaya, I just felt like it showcased to me that Black women need to stand up for ourselves in a much stronger way. um I felt like the treatment that she was taking from her boss, honestly, I don't know too many Black women that will just take the treatment that she was getting from
mm,
her boss.
okay.
Most Black women will be clapping back like, you ain't about to tell me like I don't need this job, like, just that sense of confidence. um and the fact that Janaya kind of pigeonholed herself. She didn't have any friends. She talked about how her mom and her sister were crazy, but we didn't really understand the relationship between the mom and the sister. I kind of felt like Janaya forced herself to be by herself, and she kept saying nobody's helping me, but it doesn't show Janaya actually going to get help. Like, we don't get to see, like, if you would have showed me where Janaya went to the WIC office and was denied resources, then I can say, okay, yes, she was denied help. But I don't
Mm.
see where Janaya actually tried to go seek help, and that was what bothered me in this movie.
I don't know if you were gonna respond, but I will. I think that one, when it comes to Janaya and her boss, oh, you'll take what that man is saying if you ain't got no backup job and you late on rent and you need money for your daughter and you need money for your daughter medication. You will take more things in desperate situations. And so, yeah, most black women I know, my mom, my sisters, they not letting no man talking no crazy. Especially not no black man, white man, it don't matter. If you're her boss, you're gonna respect me the same way I respect you.
Mm,
But when you're in a desperate situation and you need your job, your patience goes a little bit further. You do a little bit more than what you would if you got a backup job or you got a man at home. So now you didn't have no support system. So I could see her realistically letting somebody talk her crazy to keep her job because I need this money. And
mm,
as far as, the way she went about it, and we don't know what she did as far as seeking resources before, but what we do know is she couldn't afford it. We do
mm,
know that she said, I tried to get help. So I'm gonna take her word for it that she tried because I see it in everyday life that people try to get help and people act like they're begging, they're desperate, and that they're not gonna help them our system. So it's real. It's real that people try to get help every day and nobody bats an eye.
mm, mm. I see we had somebody else join in. Who was that? Oh, they hung up. Dang, bro. I don't know. It might be the out today. Or it might be just be the signal. Um, yeah, man. Damn. Okay, Mary.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted you to keep that same energy. Are you gonna tell the crowd what you told me about the movie?
That I thought it was a comedy.
Yes.
I did. I thought it was a comedy because about like Fall from Grace, Tyler Perry has a way of making humor out of some serious situations.
Oh.
Like the way the way the security guard and the male gentleman ran out the bank
Oh, the two old
because
people,
she
the
fired
old
the
couple.
alarm shot. Like those are the two able-bodied men in the bank, and they ran out and left them women
Mm.
and them elderly people in that bank. What does that say about black men? What does that say?
Well, he did try to stop her at first. I do think he tried to get the gun.
But you're
I
the
thought
security guard.
I
That's
thought he
your
tried.
job.
You know them security guards not worth nothing. I don't even know why you act. Them security guards don't be worth nothing.
It's so true.
Oh, she
I
said
think
it
that
was
was
a
the realest
comedy.
part. The security gonna be the first one out of there. That's very real. That's very real.
That's the realest part.
Okay. What do y'all think about Tiana Taylor's acting? Was y'all rocking with it? Did she do a good job? Did y'all like her
I think
character?
she did okay.
I like that. I liked her part.
I did like her part, yeah.
So, in my honest opinion, Taraji was obviously the best of the three. Sherry
Yes.
did way better than Sherry did great. I was so impressed with
I
Sherry.
thought so too.
Phenomenal
Like, it was
job.
so refreshing to see her in a serious role and see
Yeah,
her
it was really
good at it.
good.
It was good.
But
Hmm.
then Tiana was actually, in my opinion, okay. I would have put somebody else instead of Tiana, but Tiana did good. Tiana did good.
Yeah, I'm with you there on that one. I was like, this was. I mean, some stuff. This
I
wig she
felt like I
got
was
on.
watching Tiana Taylor. I did feel like I was watching Tiana.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
felt like
think I think she did. I don't think she did good. I feel like she cheap. I feel like she cheapened the movie. I feel like she cheapened the movie. Yeah.
If anybody cheapened the movie, it was Sinbad. But I mean, I guess give him
Damn.
his like
Damn.
his 30
people,
minutes.
Mary is a
people need
villain
work.
tonight. Mary
People
is
need
a
work.
villain.
Oh my
Mary is
gosh.
people like him exist though. Like that's like a neighborhood thing though. When you see a lot of people in wheelchairs that may have suffered from some in like low income communities and stuff.
But
Yeah.
then tell me, how did Sinbad end up on the staircase? Like, how did he end up on the upper level?
Damn.
That don't make sense.
Damn.
He ended up on the upper level of the apartments.
That
You said he
88
was homeless.
certified.
Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't understand it. He cheapened the movie.
We got free thinker in the chat. Free thinker in the chat. He say women will end up like Taraji because they fumble good men. Yeah, he on the BS
What?
Oh,
tonight.
see, shut up.
What?
Keep
Shut
coming to
up.
start.
Stop. You
Wow.
need to leave. No.
shout, shout out to the free thinker in the chat, man.
Baby, come back. You too free. Come back. Stop.
Man. Okay, she needs more training. Yeah, Tiana Taylor need more training, man. She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
Sherry Shepherd did a good job. I really liked her part.
She did. I did too.
Yeah, she really was my favorite character though.
Yeah.
She really I think she did better than Taraji if you look at it as in like how impactful her part was, because it went from like you being on a fence about her to like she really like showing that nurturing
Mm-hmm.
um girls, I guess that's what y'all call it, girl
Yeah.
type energy.
Yeah,
I think it was beyond a girls situation. Like
I do too.
when she was saying like Janaya answered the phone. To me, it just gave like nurturing. Like we all have a black woman that we can think of right now that has nurtured us in some way of like that has like made us feel warm and safe.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Sherry really represented that safe, warm place that some black women give us, and she did it perfectly.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
What did y'all think about Tessa though?
Oh
Tessa got on my nerves.
Lord.
She played her part good, but I feel like Tessa was the realest character though. Like I would feel like Tessa, like man, let me get the fuck up out of here. Like what is y'all? Like this lady trip. Like if she don't know what's going on, you know what I'm saying? If she didn't know what was going on, I feel like she had a real reaction. Like I think
Well,
that
she
was a
should have
good.
cashed that check while she was being so scared.
Right?
Yeah, now she
Exactly.
was
Are
tripping.
you scared or
She should
not?
have got shot then though. That was she was tripping. Yeah, I thought she was gonna get shot. I was like, dang, Taraji finna kill her, but she ain't kill her though. But yeah, I don't know why she went cash a check. It wasn't. It was like $500 and some dollars. Like, and then she
And then
had a
she's
check.
worked with her before, which was
Yeah.
and I worked in the bank, like in banking. So if you worked with somebody enough, you can get like an override as like a one time courtesy. She could have cashed that check. She could have cashed it. She was being
Mm.
dramatic.
Oh, Miss Lawrence, she said Sinbad was okay. She said he used the elevator to get upstairs.
What elevator?
Not
They
to
have an
get up.
elevator.
Not in
Sis.
that hood.
It was a, they had some disability accommodations,
Man,
Oh,
it wasn't no ramp,
It was no
nothing.
ramp in there. Dang, I don't know, man. He might have, yeah, I don't know. But what what we was just talking about? Tessa, yeah, Tessa was crazy. Tessa was crazy. What about, so is there a part in the movie you feel like should have went a different way though? Or like just didn't have to happen?
Mm.
The robbery really didn't have to happen. I didn't really understand the robbery part.
That's how she gets the gun though.
I get that.
She
Like,
wasn't
okay,
robbing the bank. She just wanted her check cash.
yeah, like we couldn't just give. I don't know.
I feel like she had to get the gun in her hand.
Between
I think that's what I think that represented her gaining power for once in her life. She had the power. The gun represented her having power and standing up for herself in a twisted way. To me, to me.
okay, and another part that didn't make sense was they said Janaya took off in the getaway car, but the bank was across the street. I don't.
Dang,
did she say getaway car?
dang.
Well, the police said she had to have known the robbers because she left in the car in the getaway in the whatever car they had.
Oh, she
I
took the
thought they
robber's
were talking
car.
about the
Yeah,
lady. I thought they were talking about the
They
lady.
sure did.
She took the robber's car. I did not
yes.
know that.
No, she took the
Dang,
robber's car. That's what they said.
dang. Okay,
That's why I'm
I
like,
missed that.
what
That's
was the point
crazy.
in that?
Well, it looks like we were paying attention, Mary B.
Right? We thank you.
My girl said, "I'm not walking across the street. I got a car."
There you go. Yeah, I caught me on one. Uh, I feel like the part that didn't have to happen was the part when she shot the manager. I don't feel like she had to shoot him.
That
No,
had
he
to
didn't
He
have
happen.
to
he
die.
That
he
had to
deserved
happen.
it.
Nope.
He needed
He
it.
I agree.
deserved.
He deserved
He
it. He
deserved
should have
it.
been
He
shot
needed
long
it.
ago.
No, no. Yeah,
He
that
was
had
doing
to
too
happen.
much. If I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown, everybody that
We
disrespected
both
me is
get
gonna get
robbed,
it.
and you gonna call the police on me? No, go on to me, Jesus, or whoever you about to meet.
That's how you felt as a Christian woman. You okay? Dang.
Look,
There you
the
go.
Lord ain't done with me yet. That's fine.
he said, "Okay." Do y'all think that Tyler Perry is just profiting off of black trauma, or is he giving it a voice?
I think
Property.
he's giving it a voice.
I think he's giving it a voice, even though you gave that voice a two.
Yeah, I mean it's
Okay.
not my story, but that doesn't mean it. that was just a lot to happen in one movie with no background information, and then no details to know. All right, she gets arrested. Do we get to know she gonna? I don't know. I just need more.
I
That's
don't
what
know
I
if you
would have
want a sequel.
changed.
I don't know if we want a sequel.
That's what I would have changed with exactly what you just mentioned. Um, and then I'll answer the question that you posed. But if I had one thing I could add or change to the movie,
Mm-hmm.
I would have did an end credit scene with Sherry visiting her in prison and saying something like, "Oh, girl, you only got 6 months left, or you
Oh,
only got
okay.
this time." I would have loved to see an end credit scene with both of them showing that Janaya made it out okay, or that she was put into a mental health facility instead of going to jail. I would have loved that. I would have really
Yep.
loved that.
Mm.
I needed a diagnosis because, not being funny, a lot of black women do a lot of things and carry a lot of burdens, and they're not robbing banks. So just like a clear explain, other than just the grief, let's put a name to it
Mm.
towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, but like you said, every black woman's story is not the same. So this one outlier situation, while she does not represent all black women, this is a black woman that reached her breaking point and that did have that problem. And I think that goes into the grander scheme of things, what you just said. Also, black women go through so much. Black women go through so much, and they feel like they have, which they may actually have, the weight of the world on their shoulders, and to the point where they keep on going. They don't let it stop them. They make something out of nothing. But Janaya just didn't have anything to give anymore.
Mm.
Okay.
Hey, that's a good point you just made. The free thinker says Tyler Perry should have put emphasis on how she became a single mother. I can almost guarantee she ran off on her man.
Oh my God.
Sir,
I don't know
please.
how we got
That's
to
how he
that,
feel.
but
Oh,
That's
Yes.
what he
Wow.
saw. That's what the movie said to him. I don't know.
okay, sure.
Well,
I don't think it said that.
it
And I
didn't.
don't
Yeah.
think I don't think I don't think statistics said that either. I don't
She
think
most definitely
statistics.
drew attention to saying, you got to make sure who you have children with. So I don't
that
think she was,
he dropped
based
some
off of,
statistics. He dropped some statistics in the chat.
well,
He said that's about 85% of how women become single mothers.
is his mother a
Is
single
there
parent?
is there an actual reputable source in that statistic? Is there any like
Nah, nah, you know how free thinker get down.
Okay.
Okay.
You know how he get down.
Yeah.
Wait, can I can I
We
make a
ain't even
comment?
gonna hit Chat GPT. We know what happened last time. We ain't even gonna do that. We ain't gonna do
Can I
that.
make a comment about the movie?
Huh?
Can I make a comment?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like what I noticed when we said is this profitable or if this is what was the
Reality. I think reality.
I said, was he profiting off of black pain or giving it a voice?
okay, so I I will say Tyler Perry's productions to me are getting weaker. Um, and I noticed like I'm comparing this because think Jasmine was talking about A Fall from Grace. I feel like A Fall from Grace gave us everything. Like we knew Grace ended up in jail because she so they thought killed her husband, but her storyline, how she was swept off her feet, how she was used, played, like it all made sense. And then how the mom was taking the money from all these old people, like that made sense. And I just feel like maybe, just maybe, Tyler Perry is allowing like young writers, maybe he's employing other writers, giving other people opportunity because Tyler Perry is known for that, giving people opportunity to work in Hollywood or work in the show business. But I just think that the production of all these newer things are just falling off.
So okay, y'all kind
And
of
I
see.
still didn't answer that question, but you can go ahead.
Nah, answer your question. Answer the question, man. Damn, that's crazy. I don't know how I keep happening.
No, no, you good. So do you mind repeating your question one more time
The first one, I know I asked two questions.
about the profit?
Oh, do you believe that Tyler Perry is just profiting off of black pain or giving it a voice?
So is he profiting? Yeah, he's profiting. He has the number one movie in Netflix on Netflix right now globally. So a check is being had and cashed. But is he profiting necessarily off of black pain? I don't want to just say that he's specifically using black pain to make money, but he is showing black pain. Um, the thing with it, I think that it's reality that people don't want to address or admit. In the black community, we have this con- consistent idea that keep things private, keep things quiet. What happens in the house stays in the house. Keep everything in house. Don't tell people what's going on. If you go to somebody's house and they ask, "Are you hungry?" Don't take nothing. Don't get nothing. If you go in here, don't ask for nothing. It's this consistent hiding of things or keeping things to yourself, to your own mental. And I think sometimes when we see Tyler Perry basically out us, he's essentially showing the world what we're going through and under a more verified lens. People know black people go through shit. I mean, obviously they know, but he's actually putting it on the big screen. And I think some black people don't like that. And I think subconsciously that's the reason they don't like it. But they put other things as the reason. But they truly have, some of them have this mindset of, this is our business.
Mm.
This is what we go through. And they don't want to admit that it's real. Black people go through stuff. Black women go through stuff more than honestly a lot of other races. I'm not saying who fault it is that we go through it, but it's real.
Thank you, man. Thank you for taking that opportunity and not blaming it on the man. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that.
I didn't. I wasn't. If anybody, I was gonna blame it on the white system that we're
Let's
in. I was
go.
gonna blame it on
There
the
you
black
go.
man. But go ahead.
I 100% agree. We got another person in. Who is that? Can you speak? Or is that just like it might just be like a glitch in the system?
Yeah, this is Kiera.
Kiara, you made it. I just took you off the screen too. That's crazy.
Oh,
Okay. That's crazy.
sorry, I had
Kiara.
a family emergency earlier.
Nah, it's all good. We talking about black women going through stuff. You might, I figured it was something. Uh,
Right.
do you need to be here? Like if you need to handle
Oh,
that.
no. It was basically it was a family get together, and you ain't seen family members in a long time, so they trying to
Oh,
talk,
okay.
and so I gotta go, but it ended up ending, so I'm good.
So let me catch you up. Um, don't say nothing, nobody. Hold up. Let me catch you up. Let me catch you up. Okay. Rate the movie on a scale 1 to 5. 5 being fantastic, one being
I would say maybe a 4.5.
hold up. Let me give you an applause. There you go. Okay. Cause you are now on live with 3 women that gave this a 2. Okay, I want you to know that
2.6. Don't do that.
we
Are they
anything less.
mothers?
They are mothers and been in mother positions.
Okay.
And they're black. They're from America, United States of America, from the South. Okay. Tell me why it is a 4 to you.
Well, I'm gonna just say beginning. I didn't want to watch it at all. I was like, oh hell no, I'm not watching this.
Yeah, that's what you
This
told me. Yep.
horrible. Because for one, I've been a victim of people making accusations with CPS, false accusations. I've been a victim of being a single mom, and like literally the day that she had previously, I've had days like that with every possible thing that can go wrong, and it's like it's building upon each other. So it was like I didn't want to see that because it's like trigger, I ain't trying to see all that. But at the same time it's like I'm so glad you convinced me to watch it, because again I'm like, wow, like it was a very interesting perspective.
Mm,
um
mm,
I mean, I did come in on the part when y'all said about the ending. It kind of ended. I'm more of a happy movie person, so I like a happy ending. I like people to put a bow on it, and at the end, and it felt like it did kind of leave it hanging a little bit. That's the only reason why I put point 0.5. But production high quality, acting high quality,
mm,
storyline high quality. Um, it was never everybody was in their zone.
mm. Except for Tiana Taylor, but we already talked about that. But um Oh, we
I
got we,
liked her. Now it was one part I was like, girl, like, but I did like her in that role.
the
I did
punch.
like.
The punch was cringe to me, but when she punched the white officer, that was cringe to me. But
Yeah.
so we have a 2.6 for she's the 2.6. The young lady that gave it a 2.6. Her name is Jasmine. She said she gave it a 2.6 because it was like a Tubi movie. She said,
I did not say Tubi. You said Tubi.
my bad. I said Tubi. She said the backpack was hopping on and off Taraji's back in the bank scene. She said Sinbad was on the stairs and there went no elevator.
Okay, I
So,
didn't say that part, but it was a good observation.
oh
You know,
yeah,
just
yeah. The
little
chat
just
said
little
that.
gaps in. But also, I'm not a big movie person, so
Mm.
like if I'm gonna watch a movie, you gotta be like, I don't know. I'm not a big movie person. I'm not a big TV person in general.
And then we had Mary B say, was the child really that age or did the child die as a baby?
Oh yeah. I mean, that is a good question.
So you
No, it's
confused on that
not.
part too.
No, it's not.
I just
Y'all
know
trying to make
because
like my point ain't valid. My point is valid.
she was in and out of reality. So I mean, it could have been I mean, that could have been a good
Them folks
observation
said
to
that baby
make.
died last night. That kid was 7 years old.
Man, that's
And that's
crazy.
still not even we don't even know how the real ending went down.
She alive. She alive. She didn't get
How do we
shot.
know?
See,
Because
and
like
then
Damn.
okay,
even
Damn.
so
with Tess, remember the part where Sherry was like, if we tell them that you don't have a bomb, then they're gonna storm in here and shoot you, or they're gonna storm in here. And then Tessa goes to the bathroom and puts on the wall that there is no bomb, like the bomb's not real. So how do we even know what the ending is?
so I want to speak to that because
Hold
that
on.
part.
Hold on. Before y'all jump into that, let me shout out Wesley Marco. He sent me 50 stars. Shout out. I'ma say what he said, but y'all ain't gotta respond to it. I just wanna say what he said. He said, I feel like Tyler Perry always gives these scenarios where is the happy black family that's strong and together unless I'm tripping. He says some stuff needs to be in house though, but you can't just talk about the negative. What about the positive stuff? We got a Let's Go Sora, so we got a K in the chat. And that's it. Okay. Go proceed with what you was gonna say.
So that part, if it, so when I watched Get Out, and when we got to the end of Get Out, and the police pulled up, all of our hearts kind of stopped at Get Out because we knew the reality of the situation for him was for him to be killed, and
Mm.
I feel like that Straw's ending mirrored both the realities of like how Get Out was. Is it making sense?
I I wasn't confused on how it ended though. I don't think.
No. I'm not confused about it. I'm just saying they just mirrored it for me. Like, so the reality of the situation was probably the first, like for Black people,
Yeah.
and in the history with police officers, and they don't get as much. Like, I think that's why I was like, the actual story of it was really good. I just thought the
Mm.
production was a little lagging, but
Mm.
that part in the end is what like made me like it even more because it gave you both the reality of being Black in America and the
What
probability
actually
of her
happened?
actually dying from a police officer
Yeah.
versus the hopeful reality of these Black women were able to come together to save her life because she was actually 100% fearful that that cop was going to kill her. So I liked the duality of the end part.
I love
Mm.
that. I
But
agree.
but my question still is like even in that duality, like in that what we're saying is the real truth. Because in that time warp where they're showing her going through all this, there's no kid. So it's like if this was the reality that there is no kid, there she was talking to herself this whole time, it would bring us to that ending.
I think when her mother, she got on for her mom, and she's like, I'm not robbed the bank, mom. I just need to get this money for my baby for the school. I'm not doing nothing. I think the mom brought her back to reality when she said she died last night. I think that really brought her back. You kind of see her going to like this mental space of like recollecting herself
Yeah.
and going over all the events that she had previously been through and realizing, oh wow, my child really is dead. I think her mother's voice and what her mother said brought her back. And then we saw what could have happened, like she was saying, the duality of the situation with what happens to us every day. We're killed by police officers. And then it showed us what really happened with Sherry walking her out. I think that's what that was.
Do you think the reason they had the mom call was because like they were notified of what happened?
I mean, for me, I don't really know what the point, because you see that the police had it under control, but like then the FBI comes in and they're like, "Hey, it's been over 12 hours. Y'all haven't seized the situation. We're taking over." So then you see that the FBI are in her home, and we don't know what the FBI has conspired, because remember, they're the police and the FBI, they're not trying to work together. um and the FBI is a federal agency. They've already said like this is protocol, we're taking over. So we didn't really get a chance to see what the FBI's plan or intentions were behind seeing the mother.
Mm.
Well, they do that regardless. If you are robbing a bank or doing anything to the level of the federal government gets involved, your closest families will be interviewed immediately, and they're going to see what's going on, like what's happening.
Right, but we don't hear the discussion saying like, hey, you need to talk to your child, or because I mean the family will be contacted, but it's like they don't have to contact the the alleged person, in the moment of the crime, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what did they want her to talk to her for? Is it because they wanted to calm her down or bring her back to reality? What was the conversation to the mother about the daughter?
Confusing too, because also you're thinking like how her phone get turned back on if the man wasn't going to turn it back on.
Yeah.
I thought they just did it regardless in hopes that
Oh,
they were able
okay.
to get it done.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know, and honestly, no disrespect. I don't know if you are guys are overcomplicating it just a tad. Maybe y'all are not because you can't genuinely feel this way, but I really felt like in that moment it served two purposes. One, the FBI really does get in contact with your family immediately. Like they're going to locate your nearest of kin to see, hey, what's going on with this person. And two, I think it was served as a purpose to let you know that the daughter was dead the entire time. I think that's the main point of the scene,
Yeah.
simply to tie it all in and let you know what really happened. I think
You
that's
know
that's
what?
the
It now that does make sense because okay, so if her phone was turned on, then maybe he was agreeing to finally work with the cops there
right.
to not storm in the way that he intended. So okay, okay, I
And
get
then
that.
they had gave the last two I mean not witnesses, I'm sorry, the last two hostages up, and Sherry willfully went back in. So I mean they could have been trying. I do think he was really gonna go in there and do what they did where they came in and killed her. I think that was
Yeah, I
gonna
thought
be
that
what
was
really
gonna.
happened. But
But
then they
why didn't we
changed
see
it. I think,
that?
by actions of what they did.
Also, too, just to kind of piggyback off what you're saying, is like, to me, this movie wasn't about getting all the answers. It wasn't about, it was made for you to leave wanting more, questioning more. Like, what? Like, it was made to kind of confuse the audience. So like, I didn't dig too much into like each scene. Like, well, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why? Because at the same time, it's like it was made to trick you from the beginning.
Mm.
Right.
Like I think about other shows that kind of like thrillers and different things like that. Is like, and then you get to the like season finale, and you be like, what? But I don't see myself going back scene for scene to be like, well, why did they do this? Why did it? That was just my opinion.
I need to say something whenever I can get interject again.
Where you at, Callie? We ain't heard from Callie in a minute. You here? You still here? Callie done went to sleep. Okay. What you wanted to say, Smith? I'm gonna ask a question after you.
You want to ask your question first?
Nah, cause yours might, spark something.
So I really, and I want you guys to listen when I say this because it's something that deeply bothers me, and it's hypocrisy, and I see it all the time as it relates to black people and white people. And the way people have responded to this film, honestly, has shown me hypocrisy again, and I'll explain to you why. People call this movie too much because I don't think they're used to black trauma being told from the inside to the outside world. But we so often see, and I'm somebody that watches films, and we so often see white women spiral in films. And do you know what it's described as? Like, they say it's art. They say it's groundbreaking. It's so profound. Because Natalie Portman in Black Swan, I don't know if you ever seen a movie. It was about a white woman who had a psychotic break. She was a dancer, a ballet dancer, and she won an Oscar for it. And it was called Haunting and Masterful, and they called it a masterpiece. And then another movie I liked was Hereditary with Miss Colette, and they called it a classic. Both movies, white women lost their minds. They were going crazy. They did things that didn't make sense, did things that would lead you to thinking, like, okay, what's going on? Confusion. But they didn't get the same reactions that Taraji or this movie is getting. They actually won awards for them. They actually said it was the best acting of their career. They were praised for their performances. But when it comes to the black film that did something similar in a black way, now it's ghetto, or now it's too much, or now it's not enough, or now it's over dramatic. But when this white lady was pulling stuff out of her eyes in Black Swan and thinking she was seeing a double of herself, it wasn't called that. It was called a masterpiece. And so I do think black people are put on a higher standard, especially black women. And sometimes I think enough is never enough. Even when you outdo your white counterpart in the same roles that they're doing, you still be seen as it's too much. And it's not enough
Mm,
at the same time.
mm,
Perfectly said.
mm. How you feeling, Mary B?
I agree to an extent because I don't think Taraji was playing a crazy person, and I know what we're trying to get at. Like, this person is having like a mental break or whatever. Um, but I'm just comparing it to like Set It Off. How each of those women, they had, some of them had ulterior motive to wanting money, but then some of them had like a true reason why they needed the money. Um, and I understand like how she had her psychotic break, but I just really wish we could have been given a little bit more to understand like the lead up.
Mm. I do believe that. I do believe like I mean, I think it did what it did, but it did feel rushed. I did feel like
Yeah.
rushed. I felt like a bunch of emotions hit me at one time, and it was like over with before I could collect myself. But it was a good movie. Um, I watched my wife cry. The shit threw me off. I said, "Oh shit, this one of the ones." When she started crying, I said, "Dang, you crying? You crying?" She just went to wipe. I was like, "Dang," But I do think he could have do this. Do Taraji deserve an Oscar for this? No, hell nah, heck nah. But
We'll
she
let the
did a good
Oscars
job.
we'll let the Oscars determine that.
She
Thank you,
did
sir.
do a good job though. I'm saying this not an Oscar movie. This
Why isn't it?
he ain't go deep enough. He ain't go deep
Okay,
enough.
well, again, we'll let the awards determine that, sir. Thank you. We'll see what they say. Because I'm telling you, she's going to win the award for this movie. And it may not be an Oscar, but she's going to get an NAACP award at least, at the minimum. She's going
she
to get
gonna
But
get the
why
something.
didn't
she
y'all
gonna
pick
get
the
the nigga
same thing
award.
from A Fall from Grace though? That's what I don't understand.
Mm.
I feel like A Fall from Grace was a valid mental break and it was portrayed so well. This, I don't know. We didn't get to see a full story.
I mean, I feel like if it ain't hit certain black women away, I feel like because he didn't go deep enough, maybe.
And I agree with that. I just think he didn't go deep enough.
But I do like the
I
movie.
think he started out deep. I thought it was a deep cut the entire time, but yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like the movie, but I just like to know details. Like I like to know before, the middle, and the end.
Mm.
And I just
Right.
feel like this just gave a certain part. And I get it. That's fine for ones that like the movie like that, but I just don't. I like to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I guess if you say people want more. It's like, dang, like y'all want a mini series, like, but it's like I don't want to see this for 6 episodes. This was traumatizing enough. Hit me hard and let me go. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to see this no
My turn blue.
I feel it. I feel that. I feel that. I don't think it was nothing wrong with the movie. I just think it could have went deeper. Oscar, no, but amazing movie, yes, but Oscar, nah, nah.
Taraji
I feel
did
like
her
Sherry
dance.
could get one. Sherry could get one. She did a really good job.
Yep, and
She
yeah, now
did. She did. I think everybody proud to see her.
Sherry was giving top tier acting. Her and Taraji was right there. Then
Did y'all?
Tiana, the reason why I don't get an Oscar is because Tiana Taylor cheapened
Stop
the
it.
movie.
Stop.
She cheapened it. It looked like she had a bad wig. The wig was crazy. The wig
Wow.
was crazy.
I'm worrying about the wrong
The
thing.
wig was crazy.
Exactly.
But it was a good movie, to say the least. I
Sherry did so good that I forgot she was Sherry Shepherd. I'm thinking like this lady's an actual bank teller. Like
Right?
I kept not
Hmm.
seeing Sherry.
yeah
Yeah, she did a really great job.
yeah yeah. Uh okay. I want Mary B to start this question though. Dang, I lost it. Where it go? Okay. Do Tyler Perry's depiction of black women help or harm the broader perception of black womanhood?
Like in this particular production or in all of his productions?
Starting with this one, but you can answer both. You can answer both. But start with the movie though. Start with the movie.
I think he empowered empathy for the black woman in this movie. And I think, like we've all said, I think that he gave a big picture to show this is what not all black women, but there may be a black woman who is going through some of the same things, and there are other black women in the movie that were advocating for her freedom. And that was good. I did like that. But in other productions of Tyler Perry, I think he could add more class. But
Mm,
at this point,
mm.
we're all everybody's sucked into a good story. So he's doing what sells. Like you got Beauty in Black, you got Meet the Browns, the Pains. Like people buy into Tyler Perry because he is selling us a piece of what we see in our day to day. So I guess
Hmm.
you can say like it's relatable, it can be empowering, it could be discrediting, but at the same time, it's no different than what you see when you step out the front door.
Yeah, I think, and I ain't gonna say too much. I think this helps the black community, but as far as reaching the white community, nah, I don't think it reached. I don't think it got that much reach. I don't think it go past the black community.
Yeah, I mean, I understand Smith was like, he saw the reaction on TikTok of people crying, but however, I think Gen Z may see, the impact, but I do not think that will pull the heartstrings of the older generation at all.
Anybody else want to hop in, or do I need to re-ask the question?
What's the question?
Uh, do Tyler's Perry depictions of black women help or harm the broader perception of black womanhood?
Um, I used to think it harmed it, and it may do a little of both. Because I feel like if you looking for that, and white people looking for that, and they thinking, oh, that's like the girl from Medea's family reunion, like they try to put you in that box, then
Yeah,
that's their
yeah,
thing.
that's what
They're
I'm
putting that
thinking.
on.
They be like, "Are you on welfare? Are you a
Yeah,
single mother? Do you know your dad?" Like it be that
right.
type shit. Yeah.
But I feel like with this one, I mean, again, Tyler Perry shows a mirror to everybody day to day, and I feel like people don't want to. Some people don't want to see that in the art, and
Mm,
even the comment of like, and no shade or nothing, but it's like, oh, he needed to add some more class to it. It's like, yes, but also there are classless people in this world so he's telling from their experience. You know what I'm saying? We got an auntie that act just like so and so. We got a cousin that act just like whatever.
Mm.
So I feel like we looking. I just feel like people look for the wrong things in Tyler Perry. They want him to be this Kugler of film, and that just ain't him. Like, and it's okay. Like
Uh,
he said, Tyler Perry gonna give us a great story at low production costs. But I mean,
and that's black in itself. That's black
and
in
that's
itself.
amazing. Cause baby, I
That's
can't
what black
produce
people do.
nothing.
Yeah, we take the smallest amount and make it into the biggest. We stretch it. We know how to make something stretch. Anybody else want to add to that question or answer that question?
I think Tyler Perry does a good job just sharing. I think he does a good job just sharing the black perspective on certain things. Like, um, just because I mean, let's be clear, no matter what other race, they go through ratchet things too. I say ratchet things too, but they all go through different things, trauma, some
Right.
ratchet folks in their family or something like that. So I feel like he does a good job with sharing that perspective. Um, so like I said, just because this movie, her story, I related to some parts of it, but not all of it. I do feel like there's somebody that really relates to this. And I'm glad that, you know what I mean? Their story kind of got to be shared and their perspective.
And it gives it language to how people feel. Like I mentioned earlier, I went not so when I say I went through a day similar to this, it wasn't to that extreme, but it was like thing after thing after thing happening to you, and you want to crash out. Like, maybe not
Mm.
do that, but you want to literally hurt somebody, or you want to go off on somebody, and it's like, oh my god, I feel that same way. And it's like you kind of like this happened, then this person. So I feel like it gives language to moms, it gives language to women to be like, oh, that thing that I experienced, that disassociation, like that happened to me. And then hopefully someone with whatever mental disorder she has sees this and say, oh my goodness, that one time that I blanked out, maybe I need to go talk to somebody.
Mm.
But you
So
see, that's where my problem with the movie is because I do think there's an underlining mental health thing, but it didn't address it. And I feel like how important in the black community it is to address that, hey, you crashing out like this is actually not a normal thing. And that is just where I was just like, I wish it just would have hit that a little bit more.
yeah, that would have been good to have some type of official language attached to it, and or like you said, kind of wrap it up with like a word or a title or a diagnosis or something official.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Okay. Keep going. Keep going, my
I'm
brother.
not just no, just because in the black community, especially like when I'm at work, and I'm sure a lot of y'all that work in the mental health field or just around it, that is just such a big thing that black people just think certain things are just the way they are, especially black women. They just think, well, I just had a bad day, all this stuff just piled up, which is true, but it's like there's underlining things that once you can get it addressed, you know what I mean? It starts to help you manage when life and stressors come your way. Because
Mm.
life is always going to be life. Like, that's not going to ever change bad things coming out or like bad things happening, you know?
Yeah. I don't. For me, Callie, I don't need a diagnosis for this movie. I think it made sense. Like she lost her daughter. Like that was her life. Her whole life was revolved around taking care of her daughter. And once she lost that, she lost herself.
And question, isn't the book for like mental health is like the DSMR? Is that it?
DSM-5.
DSM-5. So we're looking for Tyler Perry to pull out the DSM-5 to be like, yeah, let's go through
But
here and
I
go
don't,
through these.
I don't
Like,
think it was a mental illness. I think it was just like a response to a traumatic experience. Like it wasn't like this movie wasn't aimed at mental health. It was aimed at
So
what black women go through.
I
yeah, I get what you're
I
saying.
think the diagnosis you're looking for is probably conversion disorder. Sometimes people have traumatic experience. Well, no, maybe not even conversion disorder. Now
So
you
we
saying
got we
like
got a diagnosis in the chat. We have a doctor in the chat. She says it could. She's saying this could range from acute stress disorder or adjustment disorder. Um, yeah. An acute stress disorder is like once it lasts so long, if it lasts longer than what 60 days or 90 days it turns into PTSD. But like right when something traumatic happened, we call it acute stress disorder. Uh, but she's like she feel like how I feel. I don't feel like it needed a diagnosis. I don't feel like that was the point of the movie. It straw like everybody. I feel like everybody has a breaking point, and she reached hers that day or that night. You know?
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I get it. I'm just for a why. Like my thing is, I love a
Yeah.
why, but then I just feel like if we're talking about relating it to like Black people, there's just so many people that are just, and I say undiagnosed, but there's so many people doing things, and there is a reason why, and it's not just. But I feel like especially for Black women and men, sometimes like I'm just, I guess if I'm going to compare it to another race, for white people they can say, oh, I was depressed at this time, or this and this was going on this time, yada yada yada. And I just feel like sometimes with Black people we just leave it as it is what it was. Her daughter died and that's why she just did all those things, where it's like, yeah, her daughter died, but there is real, maybe there's a real other than, I mean, not other than that, but like, I don't know. I just felt like, I just thought that would just be a good little thing. That's what I would have wanted to make that
Okay.
movie a play.
Okay. Okay. It would have made it a 3 if you would have
Yeah.
got the diagnosis. Okay. There you
Well,
go.
when I say diagnosis, just an explanation. I mean, I know her daughter died, but like just at the very end of something.
Like it could have been like somebody explaining what happened, or like when this happened, this can happen and cause this.
Or well, or just like what someone said earlier, just Sherry Shepherd visiting her at the jail and just something. Just something.
Okay. Somebody in the chat said they could see that. They could see that.
Do you think that, and I'm assuming a lot of us are pro mental health, but do you think that I mean, there has to be some people, Black people, who are not pro like mental health. So do you think he felt maybe he would lose his audience if we put too much like therapy talk in there? Like, oh, here they go again, trying to put us on therapy. Maybe he wanted to keep it very like generic to like, okay,
Mm.
like similar to like
I
Nah, I think he would have won
I
with therapy. Like I think therapy moving in like a big like it's making waves right now.
it's making waves, but at the same time, there is a population of people who do not like it, or
They probably ain't like this
of
movie either. The same
exactly, and they're the
population,
main
you know what
people
I'm saying?
on Facebook in the chat, like but yeah, I mean that's my perspective because
I get it.
again, like we're pro mental health people, like we have
Hmm.
fields in mental health and we advocate for it. We're like, yeah, we see it, people are actually getting help, but there is a big population of people that's like, okay, I mean, but I ain't gonna go, or okay, but I ain't gonna, so maybe, I mean,
Mhm.
that's just a thought, like,
That's
okay,
a
we
good
ain't.
Mm.
I think what Chris said earlier is really like like what it is. It's like a whole system going against you. You see the system failing in multiple areas. A lot of people are not depressed. They're just don't have they have a lack of resources. A lot of this stuff we wouldn't even be like stressed or depressed or have
Yeah.
anxiety about if you had resources for healthcare, for food, for community, for like some of this stuff that we're calling depression is not even real depression. You just need resources. You need a government that
Mm.
actually works for you and not against you.
Correct.
So some of this stuff that we're dealing with is not even like, oh, I'm losing I have a lack of joy in stuff that I like doing. No, I have a lack of joy because I don't have enough money to
Sustain myself.
pay my bills to sustain myself, or I don't know how to make a meal out of $20.
Correct.
Like we're losing community because we're really individualized. We're trying to cut off everybody, but not realizing that we need each other because we need the community back. So
Mm.
I think
I
us seeing Janiyah isolate herself, basically saying she doesn't have anybody, was showing that we have been isolating ourselves for so long to like keep the peace. Because my mama crazy, my sister crazy, regardless of they're crazy, like you still need them because you can't eat, you don't have enough money to eat, you need to gain that community back. So part of it is just like mirroring where we're going. If we keep isolating ourselves and not like speaking up to the people around us, and then the government is not really working on our side either, then we will end up like a Janai when life hits super hard and we don't have enough to like sustain ourselves. Because the thing that pissed me off the most about the movie was that This mama knew that her daughter just lost her baby, and you wasn't with her the next day. This girl got up and went to work.
Hence, her mama crazy. That's why she don't fuck with him.
It's like, what? You,
I
Mm.
really like
somebody
that point.
in the community.
I really like that point, and what I will say about the community is she did not have a good community. At the end, they showed out her, which I did
Yeah.
like, but before that, her landlord kicked her stuff out, threw it in the rain, which is
Well,
crazy.
crazy.
Her
Yeah.
boss is
That's
awful,
wild, wild work.
very nasty work.
I
Her
would have
boss
left her
is putting her
behind
through
there. I wouldn't
hell.
even made it to the bank.
Yeah, and so I think that that community conversation is something that does need to happen with the black community because right now the federal government is already limiting the resources that we do receive. That isn't a lot, essentially, and black people aren't even the main benefactors of these resources already. And so these government assistance programs
Mm-mm.
that some of us do depend on, they are slowly but surely removing them and reducing funding.
They are.
There's a bill in Congress in the Senate right now awaiting approval that will greatly reduce Medicaid, Medicare, and SNAP benefits, and they want to continue to things like Section 8, housing assistance, and so forth and so on. And so in someone like a Janaya, like you're saying with community, black people may have to really show each other love more than we have in a long time because we all we got. And if
Mm-hmm.
this system that we know we're a part of is not our friend, it's clearly our enemy, it's making it harder on us, and it already needs to be that they created, then we may need to look at our fellow brother and sister for support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that'll be beautiful, and that'll be some. It'll be something dark, but it'll turn into something beautiful. Maybe some of these black celebrities like Tyler Perry will step up and do more than just movies, you know. Um, and so as a community, do you think we do enough to protect and support single mothers, or do we blame them too quickly?
It
You
depends on
should
your
you
community.
should answer that question.
You want me to answer it?
Mm-hmm.
You should answer it.
I got mixed feelings. I got mixed feelings because I don't want to shame single mothers, but I feel like we're not ashamed of single mothers. Like, and that ties back into Thursdays. Black people don't have a culture. I don't feel like we protect. Like, we're not ashamed of having too many single parent homes. Like,
And, and I've
and
told you
we
this before.
hold on. Let me
Go
keep
ahead.
going though. We glorify. We glorify. I get irritated when I see a young lady, a young beautiful lady, um, precious baby, take a baby picture, take a guess who's pregnant type of picture, and there's no dad inside. That shit frustrate me, and it's so accepting. It's so acceptable. I don't like that.
Yeah, because things happen, and the thing is, like
It
I
can't,
told
but it
you,
just can't keep happening because then you producing a whole generation with no balance.
like I told you once before, I hate that there's this negative connotation as it relates to single mothers. Why are we blaming the people that stayed and raised the child? I think that is so unfortunate, and it lacks
Mm-hmm.
character to hold the
Because,
person accountable
but
that's raising the child and
I'm
not the person
holding,
that's not
I'm
there for the
holding the
child.
woman
It doesn't make
accountable.
sense.
I'm holding her
It's
accountable
nonsensical.
because we're not gonna act like some women don't have the baby to keep the man. We're not gonna act like sometimes like it's
But you
it's
can't.
deeper than just she just had a baby and she just innocent. Like no, it be other things that happen. But I'm not saying that's across the whole board. You do have
That's what it
outliers.
sounds like.
That's what it sounds like
And,
because.
and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's belligerent. And I'll tell
So
you
what
why it
you
doesn't
do?
make
You
sense.
see more? Do you see more? What do you see more of?
I see more women putting their child first and staying with the child instead of putting it up for
But
adoption.
what are they
I see
putting? What
more
are they putting that man
women
through? What they putting that
raising their
man through?
child.
What they putting that man
Oh,
through
I
that want
don't
to be
know
there for their
why
child?
is a grown man being victimized in a situation with the child. The child is the victim in the situation, not the man or the woman. However,
But the
the
woman
single
gets
mother is the
so
one staying and raising the child. So
the
let's
woman
shout out
gets
to
so
her and give
emotional
her the
that she
credit
pushes
she
the
deserves.
father away. She pushes the father
I
away.
think you may be
What?
generalizing. You may be generalizing women to a point of a clearly a
Yeah.
stereotype in a stereotypical situation
Mm-hmm.
that does not belong to most or all women. A lot of women put
Right.
their child first over their own needs. A lot of times, you saw
Mm-hmm.
Janaya, to take it back to the movie. You saw Janaya willing to be talked to crazy for the idea of being able to sustain for a child. So when we try to put down or speak down on black women, and specifically single black mothers, as if they're the problem, they're clearly not the issue, and they're the one raising the child. And I'm not gonna just put all the fault on the
Bro,
black man, but
we not
it's
finna
you
act
to raise that
like
child.
no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that because it's both. I'm a balance both though. There are some
That
women
it didn't
that
seem
end
balanced.
up.
It didn't
There are
balance.
some women that end up with sorry ass dudes. That is true. But he was a sorry ass nigga when you
Well, you
slept
know
with
what?
him.
Me and you are
Know what I'm
talking, but
saying?
Well,
we have a few mothers. I think the mothers should speak to their experiences, to what
oh
Yeah,
they
yes,
yeah,
know.
yeah. Go, yeah, y'all go,
because
man. My bad,
James, I
my
really
bad.
want to understand. Like, I do not understand how you can say a woman will push a man away. However, that does not mean the man.
So let's
I'm
talk
not done.
about
I'm
it.
not
Let's
done.
talk about it.
I'm not done. It does
Okay.
not mean that the man should just neglect the kids all because of the relationship with the mother. I don't care how crazy the mother is. I don't care about the detriment of the
It ain't
relationship.
about that.
There should still be nothing, because at the end of the day, you could have a conservator or you could have a third party to speak to the mother of the child, or another way to maintain contact and relationship with the child, or still support the child with you even having to deal with the mother. So you can't tell me that I have to exclude myself
So
completely
so
because the
I
relationship went bad.
I don't want to
Mhm.
put your business out. I don't want to put your business out. But think about choices you've made for a certain person that you brought it up on the show before. But you even said a certain person is not allowed in this person's life
There
because of
is
what happened between
nothing
y'all.
that should keep a parent
But didn't you say
away
that
from
though?
their child.
Didn't you say that though? You don't want that person to be the father because of something?
Now there is a clause in my situation because of domestic violence, yes,
But
and
he
because of
don't
domestic abuse,
he can't
but
be
he can't.
redeemed. He can't be redeemed like to see his child.
That's the thing. He has to have the want. There is no want there for the child. The want was towards myself, not my kid. So it wasn't because I was keeping this person away because of my child. It was because of my own sanity. If you're telling me that you want to make a relationship with your child, I would let that happen. But I'm
But
not going to
but
allow
you
you to make a
said
relationship with the child because you're trying to get to me. Because people will use
mm,
children as pawns,
and
and that's
and
not what
that's
I
A
will
what
thousand
allow.
percent.
and
A
that's what
thousand
women
percent.
do, and that's what women do too. We not gonna sit up here and act
No,
like
no,
it's
no,
just
no, no,
one
no.
sided. It's not one sided.
But this
It's not.
woman,
It's not.
this woman just explained to you perfectly her situation that you brought up. She
Mm.
explained to you why she felt like it was necessary to withhold her child because this man apparently has abused her in some way, sort of fashion, and now he wants to use that child to get back around her to possibly abuse her again, or God knows what. So no, I think in this specific situation it's different, and clearly she made the right decision.
I mean, I ain't gonna go too far because I respect Mary B, and I think she a good woman, so I'm not gonna say too much. But what I'm saying is the child. A lot of times, women get emotional about the man not wanting to be with her, and if
Oh
he don't want to be
God.
with her, she feel like
These
he can't
sob
be with the
ass stories.
child.
I'm tired of these
I
sob
mean,
stories. I'm
So
tired.
you can keep your cape on, but it's real.
It's not a
It's
cape
so
real. It's
on.
like what the fuck? It's real. Shit is real.
just as there are
Funny.
incidents where women will have a child to keep a man
I
around,
think if
there
there
are
is a
some
father
men
trying to
who
have a
will impress.
relationship with their child and
I don't know if
solely
she can.
wanting to have a relationship with their child, they need to seek counsel
Yeah,
to make sure that they can have
See,
their rights. But I
see,
just don't.
it's easy for y'all to say that because y'all are women. Y'all have more control than a man does. Like go look. It's shit on TikTok. It's shit everywhere where men want to be in a child life, but the women make them jump through all types of
you
obstacles. You
quite
gotta pay.
literally can go.
You gotta
If the
pay. You gotta
paperwork to fill
pay.
that out is
Okay. Okay.
the paperwork to fill that out to start the process is like $30. And
Mhm.
quite literally, if men would actually just
It's not that
show up to
simple.
court,
It's not that simple. That shit like
just
three
if they would
thousand.
just show up to
It be
court,
like
do you
three
know
k, and you still can lose.
the majority of those cases, the
Most
the
courts
male parent
advocate
just does not show
for
up. If you would just
children to
show
have two
up,
parents.
Nah, they don't fuck with the father.
there, if you go to,
They
Who
do
is
not fuck
they?
with the
See,
father,
if
I
bro.
don't like this
The court,
if
man.
generalization that
you
you're
present
using.
that
I
you
think
are a reasonable, upstanding person, you're not on drugs, you don't have a criminal
Yeah,
record, they
but
want the child
it's
to have both
still
parents in their life.
yeah, man. But y'all don't. I mean, I get it, bro. I get it.
see,
I get it. I get it.
I don't like that generalization that you're
Y'all
using
generalizing the
to
niggas
to.
though. Y'all generalizing the dudes.
We are not. You
Hmm.
you brought it up, and
You
I'm
are
just saying,
doing
if you
that.
don't
Because it don't
generalize
get
all
talked about
single
enough. It
mothers
don't
as
get talked
women.
about enough because
It
y'all
does
can
get
Niggas
sit up
talked
is
here
so
and
about.
act.
crazy.
Y'all can act like what
It
I'm
does.
saying ain't true, but it is a lot of women that's just doing like we gotta get back to that. Like I didn't live like that either. I was skeeting and beating and all that too. But I'm saying like we gotta get back to that where we don't give a man a baby before he give me a ring. We gotta get back to that.
And that's what
So
I
then that would go into no sex before marriage, and I don't think you're an
Nah, you
advocate
can
for that.
use birth control.
but this is what's crazy to me.
You use
as
birth control.
men as men we tell women we are the
But I'm
providers and
not
leaders of the community.
okay.
As men we tell women we are the leaders and providers of this community, and we are the direction. We are the kings, you are the listeners, you are the queen, you follow, we lead. But then we will put these expectations on them on a higher weight than we're putting on the man. Why are they being held to a higher standard of what they need to do to stop from being pregnant instead of the men from impregnating them? Like it's like that's
Exactly.
crazy to
Because
me.
Because
How
because
they're
because at the end of the day she gotta hold the baby. She gotta carry the baby for 9 months.
but so and that's the thing.
but at the
But
end of
so
the,
wait, hold
like,
on.
just even a,
But a woman, and you, I promise, go through this. But a woman is trapped for 9 months with a baby. A
Yeah.
man can go get 9 women pregnant in one day.
And that's what I'm saying.
exactly.
That's why the responsibility lies on her too. Because she gets trapped.
No,
No, just think
that
Yeah.
don't
the
make
the thought
Yeah.
sense.
process of
Yeah.
That don't make
the thought
That
sense.
make a
process
lot of
behind
sense,
it.
bro. That make a lot of sense. It's called
The
accountability. If I know I got the more eyes are coming up short because I'm a woman. Because the baby is gonna most likely stay with me and his man don't have to. So therefore I have to be more careful.
But wouldn't that speak against the man because the man is the one not holding up for his responsibilities as a father?
It's not I'm not that's
I don't get how we came from
that's
watching a movie like Straw that depicted a
cuz
single
bro.
mother going through
Cuz
hell,
bro.
and now we're trying to
Cuz
I
tear
don't
down.
get it
we're
either.
I don't
not
get
we're
it.
not
I
tearing
don't get it
down
either.
black women and that's the problem. Yeah, the truth turns into all these other words. Like we're I'm not blaming a black woman for being a single mother. I'm blaming us as a community for having so many single
It doesn't
mothers.
seem like it's community talk. It seems like you tell these women to control themselves and close their legs and
That's
Yeah.
stuff.
exactly what
Like,
it
Yeah.
sounds like. The
Yeah.
accountability is not
Yeah.
going
It
towards that
gotta
either.
go. It
Every
go
time we
both
have a
ways though.
conversation,
It go both ways.
So do you think it was Jania's fault she was a single mother?
I don't know. They didn't show that part.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But
uh,
I'm not so quick to think niggas ain't trying to be fathers though. I'm just not quick to think that.
what niggas do you know?
What niggas do you know?
I've seen niggas not want to be a dad. I've seen niggas want to not hold up for their responsibilities.
Who?
I've seen
Let's name them. Let's start by name. Give me a list.
Not name them.
Yeah, let's name them. Fuck them. They sorry dads. Let's name them. Fuck them. Let's go.
some of your friends more than
Nah,
likely,
I ain't
but
got friends like that. Come on, let go.
okay.
Let go. Let
What I
name 'em.
will say,
I
I'm not putting anybody personal
Put
business
them
out there,
niggas out,
but I,
man.
and,
Put them out. Child
but what
support
I've
looking for
seen,
them.
and they gonna get caught. But what
Yeah.
I've seen is, and I've seen great black fathers, but I've also seen black fathers that don't want to be fathers, that really aren't
Yeah,
fathers, that
but
just
then
sperm
that's when
donors at
y'all
that point.
start generalizing. That's y'all telling me I'm generalizing, but y'all generalizing
I
black
literally
men.
just said I've seen good black fathers. What do you mean?
Nah, but you lead with the niggas not being fathers though. That's the
I
lead.
Because you
get I
go
And
get
that
ahead.
a little bit of what James is saying. I think that's what. Okay, so going back to what you were saying, um, about the fathers and custody or whatever like that. There is this notion of like, oh yeah, all the thing a man has to do is just show up to court and you can get the same amount of rights as the mom, and
hell
because again
no.
that's what we're taught, but
That's not
you
how
have
it
to
go.
address the elephant in the room, and that is if the mom is the custodial parent, she does have power and she
Yes.
does have some type of leverage that's higher than the dad.
Facts.
Now it's up to that particular woman if she's abusing it, if she's using it. And I have seen people and dads that have fought and
Facts.
try, and the mom's like, nope, no, she keeps moving the goalpost back.
Yes. Yes.
So we have to acknowledge that population that does
Let
happen.
let's clap for Kiara because y'all acting like y'all don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like,
And no, let's get in there. Okay, now
let's clap.
there
Let's
are.
clap. Let's clap. Let's
I
clap.
do. I do agree with everyone saying too that there are fathers that are not there at all, that that are deadbeat,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
again, we gotta acknowledge that too. um as far as the community thing, I feel like I'm not gonna be the one to be like, see, this what's wrong with the younger generation, close your legs, woman. I'm not gonna do that, because that's just not my style.
But we gotta do something though.
I think we have to do something. Let's think more creatively than our grandparents, because that sounds like somebody's great great grandma trying to shame a girl for getting pregnant. Like let's come together as a community. And in this movie, it showed people didn't stand up or even try to help Janiyah in some ways. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, again, she was to herself. She was isolated. But from the first, like the landlord, I'm pretty sure that lady did not own them apartments. So, baby, why you going so hard for some rent?
Okay.
Like, baby, like you don't own this building, so it ain't like it's stopping your check. Like, calm down. 3 days, baby, 3 days. Um, but just that little bit of help of community. Hey, okay, I see you got a lot going on. This and that. Like, we got to bring back kindness. We got to bring back compassion. We got to bring it back.
Yeah.
Hey, her daughter don't have lunch money. I'm pretty sure somebody there, a teacher, even the principal. How hard is it to be like, okay, we need us a lunch fund here for the kids who can't afford lunch, just in case they come up short.
Nah, they do got low income
Yep.
lunch though.
But it comes from that, like my community. I live in Moss Point. I
Mm.
Okay.
don't think that would happen to me in Moss Point because we have those resources. But we can't act like all these resources are there for every school district. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
And
do a
they're
good.
actively trying to remove those resources, but keep going.
Exactly. So that means we have to band together even stronger as a community, because if the government ain't gonna do it, we gotta do something. So that means maybe
Yeah.
packing an extra lunch in your baby bag and say, hey, if somebody look like they're not eating, you give this to them, or start a fund like a, because there's schools that have like lunch out, like they buy, you buy snacks 1 month and it covers the pantry, so that
Yeah.
way that. But that's community. We can't depend on the federal government, the state government anymore to do that. And even like the guy throwing the beer, whatever bottle at her in the store, was any of her
That
coworkers
was
speaking up to
crazy.
her?
That's what made me feel like they was doing too much. I like that shit do not happen in real life.
But
Niggas is not
see,
throwing
Mm,
bottles in
Yeah,
the
I don't know what
stove.
Walmart. I
In
don't
the
know what
stove.
Walmart you been
I'm a,
in.
it
it do
Just cause
happen.
you taking too long, they threw a bottle. Y'all ain't never seen that shit. Y'all ain't
but
never
it may
seen it.
not be a bottle, but it may be somebody cussing you
They
out,
might cuss you out, yeah, but a bottle is
but it may
crazy.
be somebody
That's
throwing stuff
assault.
at you.
That's
Like,
assault. That's definitely assault.
I've been at restaurants, people done threw hamburgers over the counters. And
Mm-hmm.
A hamburger in a glass bottle is
okay,
different
glass
though.
bottle, but I'm just
That shit
saying it.
deep.
But
When
did
I
Y'all
worked
anybody
must
at
You
don't
ain't
say
watch
even in
no
the
anything?
gas
Walmart
station at 2
videos.
a.m. That's what
They
it
be
sounds like.
no, when I
fighting
worked
though.
fast
They be
food, people
fighting.
would
It'd be
show
like
up.
customer on the Walmart video. Not the cashier getting the bottle thrown at them. I ain't.
But did anybody say anything? Because if that was me, I'd be like, "This is crazy. Call the police!" Like, he's throwing glass bottles, but
That's what I'm
everybody
saying.
kind
That's
of
crazy.
like,
Know what I'm saying? That's
ain't
crazy.
nobody. But again, that goes back to just showing compassion and being alert to the people that's around you. And instead of being, "I got mine, you got to get yours," or again, me looking at another single mom, like, "Baby, you laid down with him. That's your fault." Like,
I
I'm never
mean,
not
I
gonna do
mean,
that.
I mean, damn. That but see, this what happens. We get on here and we overly be positive with the shit. Like we're not gonna
You
act like it's other people that you wouldn't give nothing to, or like you would try to give something to it, but they'll take advantage of it, or like not like it's still that barrier too. It's still a barrier there.
What you
You get what I'm
mean?
saying? Like like it's certain things that be going on, and you be like, damn, you saying your kids need this, but you at the club every other weekend.
Yeah, some
Oh, I
people
mean,
can
there's
be
Yeah,
abusers.
so
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
some
Like
people
it's
can be
still like
manipulative.
different.
I
It's
don't
still
think
some
the
like
fact that they're
getting on them.
that's when you just got to
And
use a little
that's
bit of
that's why we
discernment, a
got
little
a
bit of
fatherless society, because now you got a bunch of people, I ain't gonna say like y'all, but like y'all, that don't like correction. Y'all can't take correction because it's like that male presence is missing. Is it the black man's fault? Some of it is our fault, but a lot of it is the system's fault. But it's like that correction is missing. Now it's like, no, we're not gonna correct them. We're just gonna baby it. We're gonna find another way to say it, but it keep leading us down to the slaughterhouse. And we got a bunch of fucked up neighborhoods and kids killing each other and just crazy stuff happening. But we don't want to speak up on the correction part.
I think the correction goes for male and female. So I get what you're saying. Like with some single parents, there are some things. Well, some single women, that there's some points where you have to be like, all right, like take some accountability for the decisions that you made. But on the other end, I wouldn't just put that on women because look at like Nick Cannon and like what's his name, Cam Newton, and like they're not necessarily giving good examples of like they're creating more single
Facts.
moms.
Facts.
You
Facts.
know, so I think it's not a one person issue. I think it's just in general people need to do better. Like you're bringing children in this world, so be more selective of when you're even dating, who you're dating.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you don't necessarily have to be together, but it does matter to be like, hey, can you still be a parent to my child? Even if we're not together. And sometimes you don't know that to the very end. But I do feel like there are some women and some men that they know that. They know what type of person they're dating. They know what type of person they're sleeping with. And they still do it because in the moment it just feels
Mhm.
good. So
Facts.
people don't
And
long
that's
term.
and that's what I'm talking about. That part. I'm not saying that that's the overall part, but let's not act like we haven't seen women have babies to keep men. Like let's not act like that ain't
I
a
think
thing.
I
That
think
That
is a
no one's
thing.
I
That's a
think no one's
thing.
disagreeing with you on that. It's just you led with that and like saying
But because
like
Chris,
you could
cause
put a
Chris was
number
like,
to it.
Smith was
It's
like, I want you to answer it, cause I know how you feel. So I just went ahead and jumped it off.
but you kind of lead with that, so it's like you make it
Yeah.
seem like so like
Yeah.
such a big percentage.
I
So it's like,
think
hold
I
on,
think
wait.
it's I think it is a lot. I think they do get underrated. I think they do get underrated a lot.
It's underrated, but I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
think
feel
it
like
get
it's a high.
underrated.
If it's a percentage, it's 25%. Like, and
That's
then if like let's put a number to it. Like I
I'm
feel like it's 25.
I'm not believing that it's just a bunch of sorry niggas that don't want to be in their
I feel
kids
like
life.
that's about 25 too. So
Okay,
let's be
there you go.
fair.
There you go. If you could say that, that's all I'm asking for. I'm a dad advocate, so I have to speak louder on that because I'm not gonna let y'all push the narrative that niggas ain't out here being dads.
But you
yeah,
gotta
and
No, no,
let
no,
me be
no. We're
clear.
not
There
saying
are
that.
good dads because I was raised by a single dad where my mom was the one not present and doing what she needs to do. So, and I do agree with one thing. That's one thing I say at work that people actually don't talk enough about toxic moms or moms that are
Facts.
absent
Facts.
because that is a thing. As a person that was raised by an absent mother, there's an impact for that just as well. And some people don't really talk about that as much. But I mean, I won't say like I don't know how to. I don't really know how the topic got changed, but I wouldn't blame all single. Like I wouldn't blame all single moms for doing that, but I do know with the work that I do and the parents that I sit in front of, at some point when I'm listening to this woman talk, at some point there was a point in her life that she knew that this man wasn't any good. Or even I say isn't any good, but like just I don't know, better decision making, I guess. But that goes for men and women.
Yeah.
For the men that sit across from me and say the same thing, I'm like, at some point, you got some hint,
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I'm not saying like it's your
Yeah.
fault you're
and
in
to
this situation.
I'm lit. I'm lit right now. I'm lit. Like
I can,
I got a whole another thing I want to say. Like I'm lit right now, but I want other people to talk. Where you at, Mary B?
Oh,
Mary
I'm
quiet.
still here.
What's up, man? We still good?
Yeah.
Alright. My bad. You know I'm passionate, man. I'm a dad advocate, man.
And
and I
like they
I
think
said, there are some good dads out there, but we just,
mhm.
not everybody is for everybody, and we don't know everybody's relationship. Like we're not in bed with
Mm.
these people, so we don't really know
okay.
how they ended up in the situations that they're in.
And I okay, yeah. And I still think that a lot of women not gonna admit this, and I think they do it unknowingly, but y'all automatically feel like y'all know better for the kid than the dad. Like the dad is like the second parent, and
If
that
a
that
mother,
that makes the man lay back, like for real, like I'm pretty sure all the mothers on here, if the dad was like, I'm finna do this with the child, you have to approve of it first. But he can't approve of he don't have a say in approving in what you do for the child. Do that
I
make
think
sense? Do that
I
make
think
sense
that
what I'm
I
saying?
think
depends on
I
who
think that's
has
a
more time with the
situational
child.
thing.
Huh?
Yeah, I think that's a situational thing. I think whoever has the custodial, the custody
The
of the
mom gonna have
child
the
should
custody.
have.
The mom gonna have the custody.
No, I'm just saying in general. In
That's
general, what if
that's
the
in
dad has
general.
custody?
That's in
The
general.
in general, the custodial parent should be the one gauging whether an environment is safe or not for the
But why
child.
why the dad don't automatically, like, you lay down and have the baby with me? Why you don't think
I
I
think that's
got
a I like for me.
Okay,
you don't
It's
think I
most
got the capacity to know what environment safe for my child as a father?
I think
it.
we're using the
I
legal
think
system like it
because you're
doesn't really
not
work
around the
all the
child.
way.
Hmm?
Like the legal system is not going to automatically say the dad is not fit to make decisions unless the
No,
dad
the
shows he's
mom,
not
the
fit.
mom will say that. You ain't get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but I
And
just can't go into a courtroom and say I don't feel like this man is fit to
we
make
ain't talking
decisions
about the
without any
courtroom. We talking
proof.
about the mom.
But
So
So
in order to establish these set rules, it has to
It
be
don't. It ain't
on
gotta be established. She can just say no. What you gonna come take them? Then that's
if
kidnapped.
if a man if
What you
vice
gonna do?
versa,
Come take the child?
if my child was in custody of their dad, let's say the dad is a custodial parent, I'm the non-custodial parent,
Nah. Okay.
and we're flipping the script. If we're saying that we're gonna say that my the dad of my children is the custodial parent and I'm the non-custodial parent, we have never gone to court. We've never established any type of parental guidance. But if I go into a court, like you can make these rules, but if I know that I'm not getting my fair in, I'm going to court. You're not going to just tell me what I can and cannot do, and we're not going to go see
You
somebody about
think
it.
you act like court just happened one day? Like that shit
It-
not just
You really,
boom, 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 boom. It
I
ain't
have
boom,
been
boom, boom,
through
boom.
litigation in 3 states with three
Mm-hmm.
different issues. So I do understand that this is a process. However, if you have to keep talking about this or keep trying to say that this parent isn't allowing me my rights, you can continue to file contempt. You can continue, like, you have to be the one to stand up. I
Yeah.
get that it's not
That
cheap.
shit. That
I get
shit
that it is
crazy.
overwhelming, and I
Nigga
get that it
already.
can be
The nigga
stressful.
already paying child support,
But
buying
what
shit,
I'm
like
saying
it be
is,
that should be stressful.
when you
That's
try to
stressful.
fight for yourself, trying to fight for your rights, it does
Mm-hmm.
take that type of work. And I think that's the
But
problem.
and
People
that's
don't
the
want
point.
to
That's
do
but
that hard.
listen, and that's
People don't
what I'm
want to do the work.
saying. Fuck the work. That's what I'm saying. Or what y'all can sit here and let women do that and nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. They just like the man should try harder. Why do I gotta fight for my child? That's my
But that's
child.
with anything. That's
No,
with
no, you
anything.
ain't get what
If
I'm
you want to
saying.
say
So
anything you
you
want
ain't
in
get what I'm
life,
saying. It's
anything you want
easy
in
to say
life
that. It's
requires a
easy to say that shit
sacrifice.
until you go through that shit. But what I'm
do you
saying
I
think
is,
I
do you
think
think
no, listen
we're
to what I'm
getting the
saying.
rights to vote in a matter of 2 days?
Man, we
Do you
not
think
finna
we were
compare.
given
We not
do you
finna compare my child
but
to
what
a
I'm
vote. We
saying
not finna do
is
that.
in order to have these things done for you, you have to show up and fight for yourself because ain't nobody gonna
But
come harder for you but you.
hold on.
what I'm saying is, if that's the case, why are we not talking about the women that put that on a man? The world already trying to break a black man down. The world is already like fuck him. You know, y'all don't know
That's the
that.
we're not
So
excusing the
what I'm
behavior.
saying
We're
is, but
saying
y'all know yes y'all are, cause y'all saying he should fight harder, but nobody should correct that women for
my
doing that man like that.
Ain't no
I
courtroom
we're
here where
saying
we
fight for your rights because it is not right. Like that's the only reason we're telling you this.
so
Like you're gonna have to go out there and do the work
so I
because it
think
is not
I
right.
I just
I
want to
wouldn't
But
touch it.
interject.
nobody talks about it though. It just gets swept under the rug when I'm in.
What you talking about it? You talking about
Yo,
it right now.
I got to. I'm the only one
You
on here,
talking
cause
about it. You saying nobody
y'all
talking
saying
about
I'm
it. You're
generalizing and
talking
all that
about it.
shit.
You're speaking
And
about it. So
that's why I'm
somebody's
the
talking
dad.
about
That's
it.
why
But
I'm the dad
but
advocate. That's why I'm the dad advocate.
I don't think the dad should have to go through all the hoops and all the things to see their child. No, I don't think that's fair. But if that is your reality, then the reality of it is you're gonna have to fight for it.
Well, I'm
I
gonna
wanna
That's the
I wanna
ultimate.
see I
Like
wanna
that's the
see a
solution.
woman. I wanna
I'm
see a
giving you the
woman do that.
solution.
Cause
Is it fair?
I think I hear what y'all
Is
saying,
it fair?
but
No.
I promise if the roles reverse, a lot of women will be sounding like a nigga like me right now. If it was reversed, she'll be like, "God damn, you want
I
this,
don't
you want that,
We're
you want
that's
this, you want
that's
that." You know what I'm saying? You'll feel the same weight. It's weight. It's
and
weight,
I think we
and that's
saw that
why.
with Janaya. Like we saw that. Like we saw like you need help and the world is just saying you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You need to do this. It sucks, but it still has to be done.
Yeah, man. I
I don't know. I kind of don't agree.
well
I
I
kind of don't agree with that because I kind of don't think that dads that are trying to be present in a child's life should have to jump through 100 hoops to
that's
be
what I'm
present.
saying.
No,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
that
it's
yeah.
saying.
So I
fair.
actually don't.
I don't think it's fair, but it has to be done. Like
But I'm saying
But listen, I think
y'all ignore that power, that controlling spirit that a lot of moms have, and it pushed the father away. It pushed
I'm
the
just
father
trying to
away.
figure out what extensive measures is somebody getting like having to go through if they're proving that they are an upstanding citizen in today's society. I just
but
don't
I
understand how somebody is getting
Hmm.
pushed through all these
The
excessive
same,
hoops.
the same way you see a black woman get mistreated by a fucked up system. It's a fucked up
I
system.
think, but I also think it depends on the woman too, because I think in some situations, and I mean, and I've seen it, I was like interning for therapy where the mom actively was keeping the child away from
Yeah,
the
and
dad.
then you
So,
trying to go get the child. The mama act crazy. Now she's telling people you domestic and all this crazy shit. Niggas
well, that's
wanna
actually kind of,
the cousins wanna do something to you. You might have to pop one of them. Like y'all act like shit ain't real. Shit real. Like it's funny, but it's real though. Like that shit real life. That shit is
yeah.
real
And the only
life.
reason why I say that is because I've seen it recently where I work, where a child got put into CPS custody before the dad even had the option to even get his child, which he's working through it now to get his child out of CPS custody because of something that happened with mom or in her home, but he wasn't even given the option before they did that. And I understand that that's not every case, but in this case, just because I'm working with the dad and I worked with the mom last year, I was thinking, why didn't they give him the option first before they took that child into CPS custody? Since he was actively like present in this child's life for the most part.
Yeah, I started telling a black man to go to court. Like man, that shit. Yeah.
I think
we're telling you the solution. It's not that we're
Okay.
saying not saying that it's not wrong or it's not hurtful.
so. My perspective is that when situations was arising like this in a situation where it's like, say, like my
Is
good
somebody
friend.
talking?
Yeah, Kiara's talking.
I can't hear, but
You
it's
can
okay.
you can't hear?
Mm-mm.
Can you hear
We
me now?
can y'all hear? Can y'all hear Kiara?
I can, yeah.
I can hear him.
Hmm. I wonder
Basically,
why. Keep going though. Keep going. Keep going.
basically what I was saying was that I had a friend, a guy friend that was going through a custody battle. And again, my advice was just like y'all's advice. Like, you gotta fight, you gotta fight, you gotta fight until you see the situation, until you hear the situation. And I think what James is saying is that we have to recognize a power dynamic between the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent, whether that's the mom or dad. But it when you say, "Oh, you got to go fight for your rights," but okay, what happens when you do fight for your rights and they do sign some paperwork and they do say, "Okay, you got to pick her up on Thursday," but the mom make up a scene like, "Oh, she was sick, so she can't come."
Yes.
Oh, she got this or she got that, or
Yes.
oh, he got
Yes.
this. It's like, so you can't go to court for every little simple
Yeah.
reason,
But you
and you
can't.
can't. And you can't pay $3,000-$5,000 for a lawyer to fight. Only
Facts.
thing you could do is document it, and you have to recognize a man has emotions, and a
Yes.
man has feelings. So you have to recognize too that, like, if your mom, imagine you were non-custodial. Moms, we fight, we gonna fight, we gonna, but something in something is gonna happen to where it's like, damn, like, I'm doing all this fighting, we're going all back and forth to court, we get all these paperwork, but that person's still gonna do what they want to do, whether it's small, like, oh, they can't come this weekend, or, well, I want to take them out of town, well, let me see. there's
Let
still
me
a power
see.
there's still a power dynamic that
Yes.
should be addressed in therapy with that on person's individual there, like the mom or the dad or whatever. But it happens, and it makes you not want to be consistent as a non-custodial parent, because it's like, you never know, you can't plan your life around it, you can't plan vacations around it,
See.
you can't do
There you go.
anything.
There you
So
go.
you can say, oh, go take it back to court, baby, we'll be in court every week.
And then don't let's talk about. I mean, we ain't gotta talk about it, but then on top of that, the mom probably talking down on the dad, saying the dad ain't about nothing, done fill the child head up with lies.
You never
What
know.
what exactly is this conversation right now?
It is one with what Smith ain't saving the black woman. We
I
talking.
just need to know
We
what is
talking.
this conversation, because and I examine the full spectrum of what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at, we were watching a movie to where we saw a black woman being depicted in a bad situation to where the world was essentially against her, to now we being a part of that world and now speaking down
Mm-hmm.
on a generalized situation of
We're
black women and them
we're
being
not.
bitter back. Hold on, hold
No,
on, hold on,
it's
hold on.
balanced, bro.
Hold
And
on, one
no,
second,
no,
one second,
no,
one
cause
second.
I don't like how you got so much to say about. No,
We're
cause
now
you got
bringing
so
it to
much to
a
say
point where
about an
we're generalizing
experience.
that black
You got
women
so
is
much to
being
say about an
experienced,
experience that
and
you
it's
never
not that.
experienced. Like you just got so much to say. You got
Think
so much to
because
say.
I think because I live in reality,
No,
right?
you don't. If you haven't lived in that
I
reality,
live in
you haven't
reality
lived in
where you
it.
get
You
put in
don't know. You
generic
don't know. You're
situations,
not
these
privy to
general
that. You're not
situations to
privy to
where
that.
you try to belittle and take away from what black women truly experience. And the thing is, yes, there are black women that do everything that you were just said, but there are also black women that don't. So yeah,
Okay, but
Of course,
we
of
talking
course.
right now.
I
It's
can
gonna
Guess
give
what
you
though?
change.
Guess what
situations,
though?
and
Guess
that's
what
what
though?
you're
We right
saying,
now we
but it
talking about the
feels
women
like
that
we're
do.
taking
We talking
away
about the
from
women
it.
that do. We talking about the women that do.
But that's your entire goal, to speak specifically about those women instead of uplifting them, encouraging them to do better. It's more so the belittling of the
That's what we
situation.
got you
Yeah.
for, bro.
And
That's
you
what we got
talk
you for.
about me. You
That's what
talk
we
I
got
about
you
me.
for.
So
I get what he's trying to say, but I think at the same time though, you gotta call out someone's character. If
Yeah,
someone's
y'all want to
doing
act like
something
shit.
like
Peaches and cream.
if someone's doing something like that, you gotta like
he calls them out
uplift.
every week. He
No,
calls
He
them
no.
out
does.
every
Yes,
week.
Oh,
it's a
okay,
weekly.
okay, I get what
Every
you're
He
saying.
week.
does.
Every
Yeah.
week. Okay,
Because
So
so
when he's talking about
because I'm
nobody
the
do it,
only
nigga,
one.
you do it.
I'm the
Nigga,
only
you
one
do it.
doing it, and I'm doing it.
okay,
I'm
And you
doing
do it
Good.
it.
more than
I'm
enough.
doing
You
it.
do it
I'm
more than
doing it
enough.
up.
So
I'm
thank you
gonna
for your service.
gotcha.
Thank
I'm
you
gonna
for your
keep
service.
doing it, cause
Here's the
Yeah.
thing though.
I'm gonna keep doing
Everybody
it,
is
bro.
speaking on this from their own perspective, but you have to look at reality. Like, yes, there are toxic
Man,
single
that's
mothers.
crazy, bro.
Yes, there are.
When y'all say
Yes, there are.
reality, that shit throw me because it's
But
like
that's the
that's
thing.
reality. That
You're
is
speaking on
reality.
your reality.
My
Sharon's
reality.
speaking on her.
It
Like, we're all
okay.
speaking on whatever view of our reality. Because at the end of the
But
day,
so stop saying speaking in reality when that shit is reality. That's
you're
reality.
speaking on what you're going through. You're
I'm not
speaking
going
on
through
your
that shit.
own reality.
I'm not going through that
It's
shit. I'm saying
you're
reality, bro.
speaking through your present or past trauma.
Well, I
Mhm.
feel
Somebody else
like
is speaking on their own present or past trauma.
I
But
feel
Yeah.
like
there
we have what he's trying to do, and he does go on a tangent every week. So I do agree with you on that about the same thing. But we have to give we
That's
have
crazy, bro.
we have to give a space. We got
I
to
ain't
acknowledge
said nothing about
feelings,
black
and
women in like two episodes. That's crazy.
but we have to give space
That's
for what
crazy.
he is saying. We can't just
That's
be like,
true.
ah, no, but we have to give space for feelings and everything. Just like we give space for black advocating for black women and doing,
Yeah.
we have
Yeah.
to give. He just giving like a dose of reality to y'all that okay. some women, some men, whatever. But I think he's just giving that voice. That's what his platform. That's what he wants to do to make sure we're never not thinking from another perspective.
Yeah, cause y'all just rolling
But
over the niggas. Y'all just niggas
But
ain't shit. Niggas
That's
ain't
not
doing
what
always,
I was
this.
I,
saying.
I
I
didn't.
always
We did not
receive
say
this
that.
perspective from him, though. I always receive this perspective from him, so it's
You
nothing
can't you
foreign.
can't count our
he be
talks
on a
off the
soapbox about it.
podcast. Yeah,
He be
Yeah,
on a
cause
he
don't
soapbox
goes on
about it.
nobody
temperate.
cause
He
don't
goes on
nobody
temper
talk
tantrums
about it,
about them
bro.
weekly.
Don't
Yeah,
nobody talk about it, bro. Don't
You gotta
nobody
stop
talk
saying
about it.
somebody.
that.
Are
You
you
gotta
not
stop saying
somebody?
that because you talk about it.
I'm
So
the
you can't.
first one, bro. I'm the first one
Yeah,
in
You
because
was
I,
America.
not.
I
when
think
I
I'm
we
the
need
hear
to find
these,
first.
a
I'm the
healthy way to
first
talk
black
about
it,
it.
man that's talking about it, man.
I
I
think you
hear
need
You
to
this
were
have a
shit
not.
all the
segment.
time.
I think we need to find healthy ways to talk about it because there's ways to talk about that without
Mm.
downing a black woman because it's not
Thank
Yeah.
all.
But
you.
it's
It's
not. I'm not
Thank you.
down in a black woman.
You
That's what's
are.
wrong with this society. The truth is downing. Truth is down, and it's
no,
crazy. Just because you telling the
No,
truth, that's
there's
downing.
no.
Because y'all can say it about a man, and a man just got to take it. But when a man
No.
no,
start
I don't.
talking about it with a woman, oh, you're down in black women. You're sounding
No,
like this.
I don't think so. Because if it's a certain man, I can call out. Like I gave the example of Nick Cannon and Cam Newton. Like that stuff that they're doing is ridiculous. Like I can call out certain things that I'm seeing. Like to know all things are different, all things aren't the same. But for you, I think because you generalize it,
Yeah.
where
I think that's
No,
the
I
issue.
think y'all just so used to
Yeah,
people
I
going with
think so
what
too.
y'all saying. I'm trying to change the
No,
narrative.
it's not even that. It's just you be like y'all
Nah,
women, and
y'all,
when you
yeah,
started off
Right.
with y'all,
yeah, bro. We on it. We on it. I ain't this.
that's the
Y'all women.
generalization, and
If
I
you
think we
came here
talked
for a
about
nigga to
it.
talk politically correct and all that shit, it's the wrong show. I'm not. I'm gonna fuck up with words. I'm gonna say y'all. I'm from the south. That's how I talk. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I don't say
see,
some a
that's
lot. You know what I'm saying?
okay. So the way
Because
that you want us to be
when y'all
held
said y'all don't
accountable
say
for
some,
holding space for you, we want you to be
I'ma
held
talk the
accountable
same way
for
y'all
learning a
talk.
new language. I think you're
I'ma
smart enough
talk the
to learn
same
how
way
to.
y'all talk though. Cause when y'all talk about men not
Damn, you
stepping
can't
up,
say y'all.
y'all say y'all. So I'ma say y'all too. Shit. Until y'all correct it, I ain't correcting it.
We can hold each other accountable and learn a
I'm gonna
different
say y'all
verbiage.
now.
We can hold each other accountable and use a different verbiage.
I I like a good
I'm just matching energy.
Yeah.
You feel
you
me?
don't
It
offend
just
me when you say y'all because
I love y'all too.
yeah. If
yeah. I
so
love a good
so
y'all.
so stop saying I'm generalizing when y'all know
But
what
no,
I'm
I do
saying,
agree
bro.
with her grander. Her point was with the way he's presenting it, it would be in a fashion to where he may need to be held accountable for his words and his actions. If he's
Yes.
trying to hold black women accountable or these specific groups of black women, I think he should be held accountable for the things he says and the way he generalizes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
so
What's
don't
good
hold
for the
me
goose is good for the gander.
accountable until you hold yourself accountable. Okay?
I have,
So
You
and
we
now
we
haven't.
all
now
You
gonna
and
do
now
haven't.
it's time,
better.
and
You
now it's your
haven't.
turn.
We
You
all gonna do
haven't.
better.
You haven't. Nah, it's up, bro. I'm seeing red. So it's
You know,
y'all.
I do want to make a suggestion. I
What's
think you
up?
need a segment of your show where you get on your soapbox.
Mhm.
Since you do bring this up every
Yeah,
Nah, bro.
just create
That's
a whole
crazy, bro. Y'all
segment.
not finna put that on me. The only time this shit come up is when Chris get on the line.
The
Cause
soapbox
Chris
segment.
be having that
Okay.
cape out too much, bro. He be having
The
that cape out too
soapbox
much.
You bring it
segment.
up when Chris is
but
on the
that
It's
line.
cape is
Chris.
needed.
exactly. Thank
It's
you,
Chris.
thank
No,
you,
Cause it
thank
Let's go on
irritate
you.
and do it
me.
at the beginning
It
of the show and
irritate
then
me
ask the question.
that
Yeah.
Chris talks about men in such a bad way. It
I
irritate me.
don't
That
And it's
was
do
like you
one
a
that.
man,
episode.
bro. You a
That's
man. Like what the
crazy. I
fuck else you
don't
gonna
do
be? You a
that.
man.
I
That was
don't do
Like
one
that.
episode.
nah, that's
no.
every episode. But look, every episode he on, he throw a cookie to the woman and some dirt on the man.
I
It'd
think
be
because I hear
crazy.
you trying to bury black women every episode,
I'm
telling them
not
that they
though.
not shit and
I'm raising.
that they're whores, they don't know how to control themselves. I think that's what
I've
Yeah.
happening.
never said that. I've never said black women are what you just said.
You ain't not said it either.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You
How
were real close.
look though, hoes do exist though. Hoes exist.
Male
That's
and female.
exactly.
Oh.
Hoes exist. Hoes exist. That's a
And
thing.
so
Male
do
and
deadbeat
female.
dads.
Yeah, all of that shit exists.
Yeah.
But y'all don't talk about it enough. Chris wanna act like women can't do no wrong. He putting them up on the pedestal.
I don't know why
I
you
think
keep you generalizing my own statements right now
You
again,
do, bro.
doing
I ain't never
what Erica
heard you
just
get
said.
on a black woman case. I ain't never heard you do that. I ain't never
Why do you need to hear me do that?
because you because then you try to flip it on me like I'm getting on that case when I'm trying to stick up
You
for the men.
do.
You do.
Cause to balance, so it's called balance. Y'all just not used to balance. You feel me? You're
It's
not used
not
to balance.
balanced.
It's
You're
It's
not
not
not.
used to balance,
balanced.
It's
bro.
not. It don't get
Nah,
balanced.
cause
I
Kiara
think the
Kiara came on here and said it plain. She said it plain. She said it
but
plain.
She
but
also said you
my
need a
approach
soapbox
to it,
segment.
She said it plain.
I think what the name of the segment needs to be is it ain't talk about enough. That's the name of the segment needs
Let's
to
go,
be.
bro. I'm gonna do it. I'll be about to tweak out. I'll be out in the corner down like, damn, I'm getting mad for real.
That's
So
your crash out
I'll be
segment
about to
there.
crash
Yeah.
out. Chris bring it out of me though, cause he be just
Damn.
so like women can't do no wrong, and these
I've
men are
actually
just
never.
You
they're
can't
just
blame nobody for
monsters,
your
and they
own
leaving
emotions.
this. They're leaving these women by themselves, and men are just not. I
Maybe
was like,
she's
what
trying
the
to
fuck is you
highlight the
talking about,
positive.
Positive.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
man? Hey, man. Hey, hey, hey.
And some of these men are monsters.
Some of these women are too though. We don't
That's
And
talk
And
then
there
about
are
Tasha
that
said
some
enough.
some. Did you
And there
see?
are some
Tasha
men
said
that will
some.
continue to fight no matter the cost too.
I ain't trying to hear what you saying, Mary B.
I know you ain't, but I
I
know the
ain't
truth.
trying to hear that shit. No, you
I
don't. You
know.
don't know the truth.
I
That ain't the
do.
truth. That
It
ain't the
is.
truth. You wouldn't do that
It is.
shit. You wouldn't do that
It
shit.
is.
You wouldn't do that shit.
Yes, I
She
would
No,
wouldn't.
too.
you wouldn't.
I would go through hell and high water for my children.
You saying that because you got them.
I'm saying that
You
because I
saying that
have.
because you got
I'm
them.
saying that because I have.
If the
I
ball
haven't
was in the
always.
other
I haven't
court,
always had
you'll be
good
depressed and
lawyers.
hurt.
How do
You'll
you?
be
How do you
depressed
Let's
and
know
not
what
hurt.
talk
she'll
about like
do?
this.
Huh?
Some men that
Wow.
manipulate.
How do I know what she would do?
How do
But
you know what she would do?
How
How
do
do
I
you know?
know? Cause I know
and how is that
everything, bro.
empowering to me? How
Cause
is
I
that
Exactly.
know
empowering?
everything. I know
but James,
everything.
you
I know
can't
everything.
you can't get them to understand a situation unless you people say, "Oh, I wouldn't do that in this situation" until they're put in this situation. Because
I
I
know they
mean,
heart, bro. I got intuition. I know your
but of
heart.
course,
I
as
know
some
your
people
heart.
like, I'm gonna continue to fight. I'm gonna continue to fight, but that doesn't mean that shit ain't not like that shit's hard. It don't mean that shit make you want to say forget it. And it made that shit be like forget picking them up this weekend because last time they put supposed to be in here 3 months ago and they didn't come. Like it don't change that you may say, "Oh, I'll never give up on my child," until you get to that point where that person has broke you down so much, has put you in a pigeonhole so much, in that perspective of things. But again, some people ain't gonna never experience that. So
And that's why I
But it's
fuck with
just like a
Kiara,
broke
bro.
person
That's
not being
why I
able to
fuck
pay
with
their rent
Kiara,
and
bro.
robbing the bank. I
It's,
mean, it's just how far are you gonna go before you just break? So it's like
so
there
this
are there are periods where people will have to go through
nah,
some
bro.
things that may be just the brink of that break.
Nah,
But you
man.
can't say somebody won't go that
You
far
not
because
gonna do it.
obviously,
You not
based on
gonna
this
do it.
movie,
You not
somebody
gonna do
went
it.
that far.
She ain't even go nowhere. She ain't robbed the bank. She ain't robbed the
So,
bank.
so
She
what's
just
the
But she
resolution?
brought that.
huh?
What's I'm a resolution person.
Yeah.
What's
Me
the
too.
I
resolution
don't
in this
know. The
situation?
resolution is for Chris to take that goddamn cape off sometimes. That's the
Okay.
resolution. Take the cape off
So, and you
and,
see
and
what I'm
come back
Now
saying?
down
she
to
trying to
earth.
I'm
tear down
looking
black
in
men.
do
Come
you see what
down
I'm
to
saying?
earth. Come down to
I'm
earth.
trying to resolve this situation and he's attacking me. Do y'all
Yeah, I
see?
see it. I
yes,
Do you
see it.
see?
yes.
Do you
I'm a
see?
solution based person too,
That's
and I get it.
crazy, bro.
Do you
Where are
see?
we going?
That's crazy,
Where are we
bro.
going? Because it seems like we're talking in circles instead of heading in a clear direction.
I
I
don't.
think a
So
I
It's
think a
go ahead.
resolution. I think a resolution is that we have to create our own community, meaning like
mm,
be nicer. Like whether you got kids or don't have kids, be more compassionate to people. You
yes.
know, listen to your discernment. If something says pray for that person, or something says, hey, this person may need help. Like sometimes we're in our own bubble, in our own space, and we're not looking out for the greater. Like it may be a neighbor, it may be something. You know what I'm saying? Looking out. Community is what I'm trying to say in that situation. Also, to holding space for people's feelings and and how they're feeling about a situation. And if something's not right, find a creative way to help them. Whether, because imagine your coworker or your friend, your coworker, say your coworker, and you just heard her child passed away, and she comes to work the next day. You need to be in her face and telling her you need to go home.
Mhm,
I love you as a coworker, but you need to go home because your daughter just died yesterday. Like you don't need to be at work.
mhm.
I mean, that's to me. That's
Yeah, I fuck with
that's
Kiara,
me
bro.
saying, because again, and then if you
Fuck
see
with
her
Kiara.
talking to an imaginary daughter, ain't nobody said nothing. or alerted nobody. Not saying the police, because you know the police, but
Mental health services,
mental
something.
health services. Hey, girl, we're gonna bring you in a conference room. We got somebody want to talk to you. Something, something.
You gonna do that? You gonna pull up to the side? That's not your first thought when you see somebody doing something out off the wall. It's
My
not. That's not
but
your
but my
first sight.
coworker, somebody I work next to every
Well,
single
yeah, yeah,
day.
yeah. Somebody you got love for, of course,
Yeah,
of
and it may not
course.
be deep love. Like, I mean, okay, she was my coworker, but same time,
Damn,
like,
you know what? You bringing up a good point because she telling the boss that she gotta go do something for her daughter, and he cussing
But
her
also,
out,
we gotta
and she
remember
not
she
even
wasn't home
alive.
that night.
So do you
She
think they
wasn't
didn't
home
know?
that
You think
night.
they didn't
Yeah,
know?
it did
I
just
don't think they
happen.
knew.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
and also too, whether you're a supervisor or a manager, and people saying like, "Hey, I gotta go do something," like, you may be like, "Oh, like we gotta get work done around here." You may be like her boss, like you may be like goal oriented at work that you can't separate a person and their family. Like I said, just showing little compassion to
But
people in whatever aspect.
we all done had that coworker that be leaving too much though. That shit do get kind of like, damn, bro. It do get like that though.
It do,
It
it
do.
do,
You be like, dang, every time they come, they got something going on. Like, it do
and
happen. That do you do
it
like have
does.
that thought? You know what I'm saying?
It's
And
a
I just
thought,
get
but I
paid to
mean,
be there. Look, don't
again,
go
I'm
with.
not paying you out my check. I'm not paying you out my check for you to be here or not. So that's your check short.
Nah, but I'm saying the line backed up is crazy. You know what I'm saying? You love doing the work. It's crazy. That shit crazy. Ain't nobody trying to go through that all the time. You got to figure it out. That's how you gonna feel though. Just being real. Like you may be 2 or 3 times, but like every week it's gonna get a little redundant to you.
Well, people abuse stuff too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I say use discernment. Just like, hold on. She never does anything out the order. You got your usual people that they're gonna try to leave any day they can.
There you go, man. Look, Kiera, you saved the day. I was headed on a
I
crash out
wouldn't say
course.
that.
I was headed on a crash out course. Um, yeah, I like how you brought it back to the movie. I love that.
Everybody has valid points. I really appreciate that. Everybody had really valid points.
Mm-hmm. I feel like me and Mary B gotta talk though. I feel I feel like we gotta go. We gotta keep going. Damn. How y'all feeling though? How y'all feeling? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm energized. I drank some coffee. Think that's why. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm energized as hell.
Have you been looking at the chat? Like, is there still a chat?
The chat probably gone. At this point, the chat probably like this nigga gone crazy. Nigga tweak. Nah, they said some stuff. So they say Chris just be wanting the brownie points from the women, man. That's what somebody said.
And he got them.
Yeah, I know y'all love. I get it, bro. I get it. I'll be the villain, bro. But I'm not gonna turn down
Chris,
for my guys, for my good dads. You know,
it ain't talked about enough.
it ain't. It ain't.
That's
Yeah,
the
your
that's
new
the
segment.
segment. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out though. I gotta figure that out. But Mary B, the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I said I don't think you would do it is the same reason you said that you wouldn't let the dude that was being domestic to you in your life to see your kids.
So I would do it because I've already had to do it.
But you
Like,
just said you didn't do it.
no, I have. I don't know where you heard that, but I have had to do it. I've had to go through great lengths for my children. I have
Oh
dealt with,
no. But not the court and all that. Huh?
yes, I have. Yes, I
And you had
have.
to pay money? You had to pay
Yeah.
money?
Well, it ain't free.
And I'm saying it worked the first time or you had to keep doing it.
I've gone to court 4 times.
Okay.
So I have had to show up even when I didn't have money. I feel like I've
But
been
was
blessed.
you the one making the court, like taking it
No,
to court?
no.
Well, that's
I've
different
been the
then. That's
respondent.
different. That's
But
different. That's different.
But think about it.
That's
Think
that's
about
not the
those
same
mothers
thing. That's
that are
not the same
serving
thing.
single men. Yes, it is.
It's
I'm
not.
a respondent.
It's not the
Just like
same
those
thing.
other men would be respondents.
It's not the same thing.
That is the same thing. I'm the one having to fight for my kid because somebody's
So
trying
they
to attack me
so
to
you
take
saying
my kid. What are
that's
you
what I'm
talking about?
saying. That's not the same thing.
That is the same thing.
No, it
That is
ain't.
what you were. That
That's
is
in
what you were
reverse.
saying. That
If
men
you
have.
men have to
That
do
is
what he was doing with you. Yeah, men have to do what he was doing with you. And it sound like he didn't win.
what you're not. I don't think you're listening to what I'm
You
saying.
saying that he was trying to take the kids from you.
Yes, but
Okay, then
trying
that's
to
what
use.
men. That's what men have to go through. We have to try to get our kids.
Anywho,
You don't get what I'm saying?
usually in those predicaments, the woman is the person who is serving the father. It's not usually the other
Why
way
would she
around.
serve the father if she got the kids?
Because that's how first you have to establish parentship. Like you have to establish that off the top.
You
Because if not,
automatically
where is it
get
going to
you
go?
automatically get
No, you
custodial
don't. There's
rights.
no
No,
automatic anything.
no, it's not.
Okay. Okay.
But her situation is also a little bit different. I think she was married too, so yeah, every situation is gonna be a little bit different.
And that's what I'm saying though. That ain't the same thing I was talking about. That ain't the same thing.
But vice versa, whether male, female, respondent or not, like or defendant, you're gonna have to show up. Point blank.
Yeah, you gotta
Period. You're
show
gonna
up if
have to show up,
somebody's summoning
and
you.
you
Yeah,
have
you
to
gotta
prove,
show up.
and you have to prove your
It
point.
ain't that hard. If you ain't on crack, shit,
But that's what I'm
they
saying. That's
ain't
what
gonna
I'm
take the
saying.
child.
It is not that hard. You just have to show
No,
up, even
it
if
ain't
you don't
that.
even
It's
have legal
hard. It's hard
representation.
for a man to get custody of his kids. That's hard. That
It
ain't
depends on
easy.
first. It depends on the state that you're in. That really plays the hugest part because each
Mm-hmm.
state deals with
Well,
mothers and fathers differently.
I'm in
However,
Mississippi,
I just
bro.
don't like the term saying that can't is not like a term I would use. It's just you have to be willing to know what you're going to fight for. And if it's too expensive, okay, cool. You have to figure out what your resources are going to be. But just to say can't doesn't mean that there isn't
I
opportunity
ain't say you
to do
can't
it.
do it. I'm saying I don't think you would do it. I don't think you would be mentally able to go through that.
I wouldn't be mentally able to watch somebody
Mm-mm.
take my children. That's what I won't be
Not
mentally able
take
to do.
you getting it wrong. I'm not you coming in from the part of you already having a child. I'm
But what I'm
coming in
saying,
from the part where you don't have the child.
if I weren't with my
And
children,
and
I
and
was
it's
not
different
a
because you
custodial
a
parent.
mom. A mom has this thing where they and I get it because I look at my mom like I trust my mom with my life more than my dad. It's just like a natural thing for kids because the mom carry you. You know they be there for some kids, not all kids. But I'm saying like moms do have this thing where they feel as if they know better than the father. And it's just like it's a thing, and don't nobody talk about it. But men have to get permission. Like you have to get permission. You have to do this. Like you can. I don't feel like it. I don't trust them over there with you. Who over there? Like you get all these questions.
And again,
I
everybody's
don't think as a
circumstances
mother
are
you would
different.
go for that. I don't think a mother would go for that. Vice versa.
If you don't have a healthy relationship with the person that you have children with, then no, it's gonna always be that back and forth. You don't see my way, I don't see it your way. We're not gonna meet in the middle. However, if you have a healthy relationship and you two are able to come to a consensus, like this is what we're going to do, I don't see why there would be any pushback. However,
So
everybody's household is different.
so of course it's not a healthy relationship.
And
That's
then
why we talking about it.
on top of that, you just said, well, mothers are going to do this, but then you said, I won't. Like
I don't think you would. I think I'm saying it sound easy to you because you're thinking about it,
no,
but
it
it's
does not
like
sound
what
easy.
I'm
Like
saying. But I'm saying
envisioning it, nothing about it is easy.
I
It's
don't think
just I
women.
know that I want to maintain a relationship with my children. Even if I wouldn't get the amount of time as what I would want, I would still work to maintain a relationship with my children. And maybe I wouldn't be able to, let's just say figurative speech, like I won't have a relationship with my children while they're still children and I have to wait until they're 18.
And then guess what
There's
you get
some way
called?
I'm
Guess what
going
you
to
get called if you
maintain
do that?
communication
Guess
with
what you
my
get
children.
called if you do that? A deadbeat. Get called a deadbeat for that.
I mean, initially, my dad had 5 kids. So, and only 2 of them were with my mom. So I had to watch that as well. And I will say, yes, I watched my father be called a deadbeat, even when he tried to
And
maintain communication with. But
that's
at
what
the
I'm
end of the
talking
day,
about though. That's what I'm advocating for.
at any stage in your child's life, you can parents. You can still come
No,
back
you
into your
can't.
child's life and be
You
present.
don't. Do you think
Do
that
you?
that's not how it go? That child is not of you. If that child
Okay.
not in your household, is not of you.
Okay. You're telling
It's
me
not.
you're
It's
not
not.
telling me fact, you're telling me opinion because
No, I'm
everybody's
telling you, if that
situation.
child is not the same thing y'all just said about Nick Cannon having so many women in different households, that child not gonna be of Nick Cannon. He not raising that child. You can't if it's not in your household, you can't raise it. You can try to put influence over it, but you're not raising it. You're not there daily doing stuff for the child. The child is not daily taking instruction from you.
But
That
that does not
child,
mean
that
you
child
never
not
show
gonna
up
be of you.
as a
No, I'm
good
saying you gonna. I'm saying what you just said. What happened with your father? Called him a deadbeat. Even the child gonna feel like that. It ain't
if,
just because you was right. Don't mean the child know that you was right.
and life ain't over.
So what I'm saying is that's who
I
I'm
get what
talking
you're
for though.
saying,
That's who I'm
but you
talking
can't.
for.
I'm tired of people saying can't when there's all if there is a will, there is a
It
way.
ain't up to
So
you.
the
At that
term
point, it ain't up to you. It's up to the child to allow you to be
and that's
that.
fine. And that's fine. It's
But
up to the person to
what do that
continue
do
to
to the
fight.
father? What do that do to the child say?
Whatever he wants it to do. Like either you
I don't
fight
think you
or you
feel
sit
it.
down.
I
Like
don't think you feel it. I don't think you feel it. What I'm saying. You
I
saying
get what you're saying.
a man did what your dad did and come in when the child older. You only gonna try so many times. What can you do if the child set on what they know? They won't
Okay, then
listen to you.
you walk away, but at the end of the day,
And
you
that
still have a choice. The choice is still there.
okay.
It's still room to build. But every situation is not going to be a can't and a won't.
I ain't saying they can't. I'm saying that's why I speak about it the way I speak about it. Cause I don't think people think about that part. It get overlooked. It's a lot of men that got deadbeat on they name, and it's not that's not the real story. A lot of men right now, life will change, and young women too, if they went and talked to their dad and saw his side of the story, they'll be like, damn, okay. But it'd be too late sometimes because the mom done put so much in their head. And the dad just gotta take that. You know what I'm saying? That makes a bitter man sometimes. A man that really wanna raise his child, you don't understand how much that hurt a man. So and that's all I'm saying. Like I'm not saying that that's every story, but I'm saying nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how that title get put on a man. And we so ready to call a black man a deadbeat dad. I'm gonna clip that part. I'm gonna clip that part, and that's how I'm gonna go into every tangent. Right there, right there. That's why I got silent. I like that's gonna be cold. That's gonna be cold. But I'll come through though. I'm gonna stop. But I'm just saying though, I am passionate about that because I do think that happens more than we think.
I
Yeah.
forgive you
No,
saying all of
no.
that lay person story, but it's all good.
I probably did, bro. I don't know. I be wilding sometimes. Forgive me.
She should have told
My
you
heart
up,
in the right place. My heart in the right place.
but I said I'm gonna let her handle it. But she should have told you up.
See, and that's why it's the greatest podcast on Facebook because we got people like Smith that ain't gonna take that cape off no matter what. They not gonna take it off, and it is what it is. But anything else y'all want to say before we end it? I feel like I'm rambling with y'all at this point.
I enjoyed the movie thoroughly. I'm glad we had the conversation about it. I'm proud of the fact that they are number one globally,
Let's
and
go.
I believe it's gonna be that way for at least another week. And yeah, I'm thankful to be able to speak with all of y'all tonight.
So, anybody else want to say something?
Proud of you.
Yeah, they mad at me. Dang, my bad. My bad. I ain't mean to, you know what I'm saying? I
It's
be
been a pleasure listening and hearing you guys' opinion. It really has. The movie has brought us all together to talk about it and has, sparked some passion in all of us. So I feel like he did his job. So kudos to
Yeah.
him, kudos to y'all.
there you go, there you go. What about you, Jasmine?
Um, n- no, I, I I did find some new things that gave me a different perspective. So I am thankful for the conversation that gave me a little bit more thought behind. Do I still stand by my 2.6? Yeah, pretty much. But also, you're not speaking to a movie buff. I'm not a big movie person. So
Mm,
for somebody who don't watch movies, I sat and watched it twice. So I think it was pretty good.
mm. And that was on purpose? Like, did you do that for the pod or just because you liked it so much?
Oh, the first time was, yeah, it was just for the podcast. I watched the first time because I was just getting my hair done. The second time it was for the podcast.
There you go. There you go. Mary B, Kelly, they done gave up.
No, I didn't give up. I was waiting for Callie to speak because I don't want to keep speaking. But it was a good conversation. We unpacked a lot, and there's a lot of insight given, and it was good. We did find some resolution to a lot of great points, and we can say that this conversation was not in vain.
I
I
don't
agree.
I don't yeah, I do not think it was in vain. Yeah, yeah. And it's crazy though, cause the movie really did invoke something in me though. It really did. I don't the same way I'm talking about dads though. I don't think we think about how hard it is for a single mother though, and that kind of like showed it. And it's like even if it's not as extreme as that though, I can I see it from a marriage standpoint. Like I see it as me being there for my wife. Like I could just imagine if my presence wasn't there. Like damn, that's a lot. Like I don't even think I would be able to manage being a single parent. Like I don't even know how I would do it. Like I probably would be at my wits end, you know, trying to manage every day, getting the kids ready, taking them to school, making this, making that. Got to be at this practice or this conference or be here and be there. Like it, that's a lot. That's a lot.
I agree with that. That's just one thing I wanted to share was even though like my brother, I didn't give birth to him, but I commend single parents because me raising my brother by myself made me realize that's something honestly that's really hard. And then for the women that have more than one kids that have to like do everything and be everywhere and be all things, very very hard job to do. And so the ones that do it well, because I've seen some really great single parents, like single moms that really do it well.
Yeah.
And I know it's just not easy for them. So overall, podcast was good, good insight. I also get the other part of what you were saying, James, where I do see that part too. You know, some to some degree, but for some men, there are good fathers out there that there's barriers, and sometimes, most of the time, it is that other woman for them. So I see all of it.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that. Y'all had me feeling crazy for a minute. Um, look, I knew he was gonna say something. He can't resist. But but nah, man, I really enjoyed it too. I enjoy y'all letting me get this out and not like, cause like I'm the type of person, man. That's why I even started a podcast. Like I could disagree with you wholeheartedly, but not hold it against you. Like I'm just like that. Like I might be mad in the moment or like passionate in the moment, but past the moment, I'm back to just thinking in my reality or what I want to do next. You know, not like on that type of because I understand like everybody do have their own perspective and what they went through. I just
Yeah.
like balance. Even when it seemed unbalanced, I like balance. So it's like I
And
always
that's
gotta
why
speak to the other point.
Yeah. And that's why you keep bringing it up. But I will say this, it's not like what you're saying is a lie. So I guess, I mean, and I understand you have your own like experiences and stuff. So I guess what I'm saying is it's not a lie because I feel like you come across people that talk about this. Like, you know, you do come across men that talk about this. Now it's far in between, but you do come across. And for me, since now I'm a stepmom, I get to experience not necessarily that 100%, but I do get to see the different power dynamics a little bit
Mm-hmm.
in a different angle, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes. And I forgot about that. Yeah. So you can kind of see, even if it ain't turned up all the way, but you can kind of see like how it could lean into some other stuff. Like how
Yeah,
it could go left real
yeah,
quick.
yeah. Like I see how he's careful with certain things he says, or how he introduces certain things, or so I've seen that. But I feel like at the same time, though, I just don't feel like by saying that happens is also saying like I don't know. I just feel like those are two different topics. Like you know what I mean? They're just two different topics.
Mm-hmm.
Like just two different areas that need to be. I say, well, I feel like you could still commend single mothers because, like I said, it's a
Yeah.
hard job. It's a really hard job. And at the same time, say that there's some women that make it difficult for a man to be involved in a child's life, but that's not the case for every woman.
Mm. There you go. There you go.
Day to all the good fathers, good ones only.
He ain't even have to say that. That's crazy. Um, that's crazy. Mary B, what up? What up? What up, Mary B?
I thought we already said our closing remarks.
I ain't. What you say?
I already said what. So you ain't listen.
Damn, that's crazy. I thought you said you weren't trying to talk. Cause
No, I said I was waiting on Callie to speak because I didn't want to jump in and cut nobody off if I would start talking. So I already said what I had to say.
so you did closing remarks.
I did. Yeah.
What you say? Repeat it. My bad. I missed
I
that.
said this was a good conversation.
Damn, you
I
did say
took
that.
bits and pieces from everyone. It was like a productive conversation, and I don't think that this conversation was in vain.
Damn, you said in vain. I thought for some reason I put that with Kiera. Damn, that's crazy. Okay, there you go. Well, yeah, I enjoyed y'all. You gotta go off the rails sometimes. This shit just happen like that. That's just a part of talking. Thank y'all, and we'll end it like that.